one of us has a unique experience in our life. Each one of us are facing very different, maybe same kind of a problem, but in a very different way. So our ideas or our ways of looking through that problem can be entirely different. So that is the idea of initiating this dialogue, where I aim to speak to young students across different colleges and universities across India, tell them about what public policy is. Because when they are in this phase of their life, when they're thinking about various career options, when they're thinking, what to do next. So I just want to present them with an opportunity. Okay, this is something that they can also think about. I'm sure that some students today I'll be able to tell them, and they may feel that okay, public policy could be one thing that they did not know about it earlier, and they may be interested to know more about it. So in terms of the structure of my presentation, I'm thinking of keeping it in two parts. So in the first part, which I'm doing right now, what I will do, I will give a broad overview of the field, right? But in the second part, once I have collected some questions from the students and as well as heard the views of the other faculty member, then we can get into very specific nuances. How actually the students of journalism can actually contribute. Where can they fit in into this entire ecosystem of public policy, and as well as where does my initiative, that is Mulya Foundation, where what role we are envisioning in helping that cause. So I will keep those two parts in the second part of the presentation. But let's start with a general overview of what I see to be the public policy. So I'm not going to recreate the things as we see them in textbook. More or less, my what I will present is my understanding of the sector in last 5 to 6 years, because that is the way I think is the best way to connect with the students. When I started my journey, I finished my graduation in 2014, and I studied economics from IIT Kharagpur. I did a 5-year program, and trust me, and I can connect with all the students. Like I was as clueless as maybe uh, a lot of you are. What to do next, and public policy happened by chance. I was sure of some things. There was something that I did not want to do, but I was not pretty sure what are the things that I wanted. So I was little convinced, and that was shaped by my experience that I had during my internships, that I was not interested to take up corporate jobs. I wanted to do something else. And my idea was shaped largely by my internship that I did in 2013, and it was with Planning Commission. And Planning Commission, 2 months of internship over there was eye-opening for me. I can tell you, and it's very difficult for me to describe, what that experience was. But when you see, what we receive as a policy, and when we see that, how it is actually shaped in the real life, it is very different experience. So during Planning Commission, what a very interesting thing that happened, like, I was able to be part of some interesting meetings that were convened by the chief ministers of various states. And in that meetings, what used to happen, there used to be a discussion on the annual budget. So in the earlier system, Planning Commission used to give a lot of fiscal, support, the financial support to the state governments. And when I attended those meetings, before attending those meetings, I used to think, chief minister is going to be there, the entire body of the bureaucrats is going to be there. It's going to be something different. But when I attended those meetings, I realized, the way these people were talking, they were talking like, you, like I and you, we all talk like to each other, and they were negotiating on those exact terms. So the negotiation had the same principles. Can you give us little extra? And the Planning Commission is saying, no, we cannot give little extra. We have to give it to someone else. By extra, I mean the money that they were discussing. Maybe in our day-to-day life, when we negotiate on hundreds or thousands. That is a denomination. And these guys were discussing maybe in terms of the crores of rupees, right? But the idea and the principles were same, and it made me realize, it is something that I can do. This is very interesting. Why not do something like that? When you are part of this larger discussion, where what you are doing today is going to have an impact on life of so many people. So that was the first click that I had. Okay, public policy could be something that I should explore more. And that is where I started my journey in 2014 after graduating. So I joined NIPFP, National Institute of Public Finance and Policy. I joined the research team. So I will explain more as we proceed that what are the different angles in which we can engage with public policy. So when I joined as a researcher. As a full-time researcher, I would sit on a computer and do all those kind of complicated statistical modeling and other things. So that was one way, but that was a very interesting introduction because I got to interact a lot with the very senior bureaucrats in the Ministry of Finance. You were, on top of the things. You were able to attend the committees of the government. You understood, what is the background process. The things that we hear, here and there in the media, that this committee worked and these were the results of the committee. This committee could never submit a report. All these things when we hear, I was able to be part of those committees, and I was able to understand what is the process through which a committee like this goes through. And that is where my journey with the public policy started. So before I just get into the specific details of what is public policy, my understanding of public policy is, let's break the term, right? Let's break public policy into public and into policy. Okay. And public, as we can understand, like public mean people, like we all are people, right? And if we are thinking globally, that is not in the context of India. We all humans are public in some way. But are we the same kind of public? Actually not. We are different kind of public. For example, there are some very visible distinctions. For example, gender, male, female, a third gender. We are three different kind of public, right? Then age, a young child is different than an elderly person, is different than a young workforce, right? Then based on our race, what kind of race we are in. So we are different kind of public. Apart from that, there are various invisible characteristics which make us different. For example, what is our religious inclination? What is our political inclination? What are our cultural ideologies? What are our social behavior patterns? These are all different factors which, though we all are public, but makes us very different. And this is the difference that is going to be very important when we talk about public policy. Now let's move to the second component, that why do we need a policy? Now that is very important. If we don't need something, we don't need to discuss so much about it, right? The thing is that it is very much required. And it comes somewhere from the fact that as a human being, we are social in our nature. Like we have to interact with other species. That is, we cannot live in isolation. So whenever we interact with other human being, we need to know some kind of certainty, right? That what our interaction is going to manifest, right? What are going to be the outcomes of those interactions, right? So that is very important, that we are going to interact. And second, we are cognitive species. That is, we think, and we have this ability where we want to think about the future. We want to plan so many things, that today I may be a 25-year-old person, but I am thinking somewhere, what I will be doing when I'm 55-year-old person, right? Like whether do I need some pensions, how I'm going to support my family, how my family is going to do this. Then we are thinking across boundaries. One of my member is living here, some person is living somewhere else. So is that we are not living in isolation, right? We are interacting, we are constantly interacting with our fellow beings. We are interacting across time, we are interacting across geographies. And the core to all this interaction, to make them meaningful, is that we need to have some rules in place. We need to have some defined structure in which how we are going to interact. Suppose that we don't have any kind of a rule, suppose we don't have any kind of stability of what our interactions are going to be, trust me, it is going to be very difficult for all of us to interact. And it would have been very difficult for all of us, for our species to grow as we have become to grow. We are more than 7 billion people living peacefully with each other, more or less, right? So there was some kind of a rule of law. So that rule of law, if we say loosely, is something can be called as a policy. So that's why we are different kind of people. We are going to interact, and we need some kind of a stability. That's why we require policy. So that is the idea of public policy. So now if we think in a reverse of this entire fashion, like it's very difficult to think of think of an interaction which will not fall under public policy. You know, like any kind of interaction that we have, whether it is with our fellow species, whether it is with our environment, whether it is with some natural resources, and these days we are also, interacting with extraterrestrial bodies, right? Because we have this possibility that we will be able to even interact with them. So again, that is again falling within the scope of public policy. So I'm giving a very general overview of what public policy is. So more or less anything and everything that we see around us will fall in some or other way under the theme of public policy. But now we need to narrow it down because it is too broad for us. Let me give you a very simple example, that something that we all can relate to, and that is going to be that for our survival, the one of the most important thing that we need is air. If we don't have air, that is, if we don't have oxygen, we are not going to live, right? And that has been a recent issue in Delhi. We all have observed, when the pollution levels were high, we all were having issues. Now this falls under the domain of public health. It's a domain of public policy, but it is related to the health aspect of it, and it is very critical. And as we all have seen, and you all have been living in Delhi, I'm sure you would have witnessed, how the response has been. The response has come from civil society, the response has come from private sector, the response has come from government, the response has come from local electorates. They are everyone is trying to say that we need to do something about this common problem, the problem that is affecting all of us, a problem that don't know who is responsible for, but maybe collectively we are responsible for. But there is some kind of an action that is required, and that is what manifests into another domain of public policy that may be classified as environmental policy. you know but how are we interacting with our environment? Let's go with another example, and this example is the second most thing that we require for our survival, that is food, right? We all need to consume food, otherwise we won't be able to live. But if we think, very carefully about the idea of food, like how it is produced to how we consume it, you will understand the layers and layers of public policy. Let's start with the production. First of all, to produce food, what we need the most is the land on which agriculture will happen. Right? Now, access to land is a very tricky thing. For example, whether it is that the people can individually interact with each other and they can decide who owns what parts of the land, or it is going to be the government who is going to decide that this person should have this portion and the other person should have this portion. So basically we need to have this question in mind, who is going to decide the allocation of the land, because in the end land is finite in space, right? It is not that you cannot expand it forever, right? It is limited. So before we think about food, we need to think about land, that is agricultural land. Okay, fine. Let's suppose we have land. Now moving next, what do we need? We need factors, that can help us produce. For example, we require raw material, we require seeds, we require water, and all of that. Okay, wherever the regions we get sufficient rainwater, that is good. But what about the regions where we don't get rainwater? We require some man-made solutions, and they came in the form of canals, right? We see irrigation canals, we have tube wells, we have so many things, and that is what it is solving the problem. It is solving the problem that how do we get water for the agriculture purposes. But over the time, if you I will give you a simple example of the what is happening in Punjab in today's time, that we have overused the groundwater because of the cultivation of the rice. So the purpose is genuine, that we want to produce food.
Ashish, if I can interrupt you, because we have Hindi students also, so if you can be bilingual, it would be good,
Okay,
better.
okay,
So please,
sure.
yeah, thank you.
Okay. So agriculture, we want to produce food, but the problem that is coming is that it is creating some other problem. For example, in Punjab, what is happening? We have overused our water resources. Now that is creating different kind of ecological problem. So we need to solve that. At the same time, when we are trying to produce food, we are creating some other problems. Like when we were trying to establish industries, we created the problem of environment, through the bad air pollution and the other things. So the point is that public policy is going to be interdisciplinary, because it has multiple layers into it, and it is going to be overlapping across different streams. So that is very important. And why I'm saying, because in the end I want to connect it, that why people of journalism, why students of journalism are going to be very important component of public policy. The last domain and the element that I want to put in touch on agriculture part is that is is our agriculture policy. Can we just think about it nationally? That is, whether the government of India independently decide what its agriculture policy is going to be. And the simple answer is no, it cannot decide, because it does not have the authority to single-handedly work on it. Now, it may come very surprisingly for all of you that why it is so. Agriculture is our local produce. Why shouldn't the Indian government have jurisdiction over it? The question is that because we have international relations, that is, we interact with the global world outside, right? So we cannot actually decide because World Trade Organization comes into place, because it is going to tell us no, you cannot give subsidies to your farmers because that is affecting farmers somewhere else. So the idea is that public policy is very interesting because it is challenging. It is challenging because it is interdisciplinary. You need to have an understanding of a lot of stuff around, right? So just to summarize, and अगर मैं थोड़ा सा इसको हिंदी में मतलब थोड़ा सा हिंदी में बताने के लिए अगर मैं इसको बहुत छोटे से बताऊंगा तो ये है कि जो पब्लिक पॉलिसी का जो दायरा है वो बहुत बड़ा है। क्यों? क्योंकि जो पब्लिक और जो पॉलिसी है वो दोनों की दोनों हमको उसको समझने की बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है। पब्लिक का जो मैंने समझाने की कोशिश करी है, पब्लिक मतलब जो लोग हैं, जैसे हम ह्यूमन बीइंग्स हो गए, हम सब पब्लिक हैं। लेकिन हम सब एक एक तरीके के पब्लिक नहीं है, हम में बहुत सारे वेरिएशन। फॉर एग्जांपल वेरिएशन हो गया कि हम सबके जेंडर्स अलग हैं, हम सबका जो एज क्लासिफिकेशन है वो अलग है। कुछ लोग छोटे बच्चे हैं, कुछ लोग बड़े लोग हैं, सबकी ज़रूरतें अलग-अलग हैं, राइट? अब इसमें से ही ये है कि हम लोगों के बहुत सारे ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं जो हमको दिखते नहीं है लेकिन उसकी वजह से भी हम अलग हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल हम रिलीजियस लाइन्स पे अलग-अलग हैं, हम कास्ट लाइन्स पे अलग-अलग हैं, हमारे सोशल पैटर्न्स बहुत अलग-अलग हैं, राइट? इसके अलावा बहुत सारे ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं जिसकी वजह से जो हम पब्लिक एज़ कॉमन जो हैं, हम बहुत अलग-अलग हैं। और हमको पॉलिसी की आवश्यकता क्यों है? व्हाई डू वी नीड पॉलिसी? पॉलिसी की ज़रूरत इसलिए है क्योंकि हम जो ह्यूमन बीइंग्स हैं, हमारा जो कोर बिहेवियर है वो है टू इंटरैक्ट विद अदर पीपल, राइट? वी कैन नॉट लिव इन आइसोलेशन। हमको आइसोलेशन में रहना बहुत प्रॉब्लमेटिक है क्योंकि हमको दूसरे लोगों से बात करनी है, उनसे इंटरैक्ट करना है। और जब हम इंटरैक्ट करते हैं, जब हम अपने फ्यूचर के बारे में डिसाइड करते हैं, हमको प्लानिंग करनी होती है, तो उसके लिए हमको बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है कि हमको एक स्टेबिलिटी पता हो। हमको ये पता हो कि जब हम जो बातचीत कर रहे हैं, जो हम जो इंटरेक्शन कर रहे हैं, उसका रिजल्ट क्या होने वाला है। अगर वो बहुत अनसर्टेन रहेगा तो आप लोग इमेजिन कर सकते हैं कि कोई भी इंटरेक्शन करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा। आपने किसी को बोला हेलो, आपको ये नहीं पता कि उस हेलो का रिजल्ट क्या आएगा। वो हेलो का रिजल्ट हेलो होगा, एक स्माइल होगी, या हो सकता है कि एक आउटराइट क्रिटिसिज्म भी हो जाए। लेकिन अगर वो आपको क्लैरिटी नहीं है तो आपका इंटरेक्शन करना बहुत मुश्किल होगा। अगर इसको हम बड़े स्केल पे देखें तो इसलिए हमको कहीं ना कहीं एक ऐसी सोसाइटी चाहिए जहाँ पे देयर इज अ रूल ऑफ लॉ, बेसिकली जहाँ पे एक लॉ है, एक सिस्टम है जिसमें हम सर्टेनिटी थोड़ी कर पाते हैं। इसलिए हमको पॉलिसी चाहिए। और पॉलिसी के एग्जांपल्स के लिए मैंने 2 और 3 एग्जांपल्स की बात करी। पहला एग्जांपल था कि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो हमको हमारी लाइफ के लिए चाहिए वो है एयर, दैट इज वी नीड टू ब्रीथ ऑक्सीजन, राइट? तो उसके लिए एयर इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो एयर इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मैटर ऑफ पब्लिक पॉलिसी, स्पेशली आज के ज़माने में। जैसे रिसेंटली आप लोग दिल्ली में रह रहे हैं तो आपने रियलाइज़ किया होगा कि एयर पोल्यूशन की बात एकदम से इट्स अ न्यू पॉलिटिकल इशू, राइट? इट इज़ एन इशू बिकॉज अभी हम रिसेंटली इसको फेस कर रहे हैं और इसका कोई ना कोई सोल्यूशन निकालना जरूरी है। लेकिन देखा जाए तो एयर पोल्यूशन की प्रॉब्लम कहाँ से है? एयर पोल्यूशन की प्रॉब्लम अपने आप से तो नहीं है, एनवायरनमेंट तो वहीं का वहीं था। कहीं ना कहीं हम एक दूसरे एक्शंस ले रहे थे। फॉर एग्जांपल हम हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज को स्टैब्लिश कर रहे थे, हमने उनको इस तरीके से स्टैब्लिश किया कि हमको प्रॉब्लम ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन है। कहीं ना कहीं जैसे कोई ना कोई इश्यूज आ रहे हैं कि हम पैडी बर्निंग करते हैं पंजाब में, वो इशू हो रहा है पंजाब में लेकिन प्रॉब्लम आ रही है दिल्ली में। तो आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे इंटरेक्शन अलग लेवल। तो इसलिए पब्लिक पॉलिसी का इशू है। नाउ दिस डोमेन विल फॉल अंडर समथिंग कॉल्ड एनवायरमेंटल पॉलिसी। सेकंड इशू जो आता है दैट इज रिलेटेड टू आवर एग्रीकल्चर। जब हमको फूड प्रोड्यूस करना है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस। तो फूड प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए उसमें बहुत सारे लेयर्स हैं दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि पब्लिक पॉलिसी के अंदर लेयर्स क्या हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल सबसे पहले फूड प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए हमको चाहिए एग्रीकल्चर लैंड। अब एग्रीकल्चर लैंड का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कैसे हो, कि क्या इंडिविजुअल वन टू वन लोग आपस में बात करके कह सकते हैं कि हाँ दिस पीस आपकी है, ये वाली लैंड मेरी है, और वहाँ पे कोई डिस्प्यूट नहीं है, कोई इशू नहीं है, सब कुछ सेटल हो गया। दूसरा तरीका ये भी हो सकता है कि गवर्नमेंट जो है वो डिसाइड करे कि किसको कौन सी लैंड मिलनी चाहिए और किसको कितनी कितनी लैंड मिलनी चाहिए। तीसरा सिस्टम ये भी हो सकता है कि एक मिक्स सिस्टम हो जिसमें दोनों ही काम कर रहे हो, क्योंकि अलग अलग रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से चाहिए। उसके अलावा हमको चाहिए सेकंड चीज़ें जो चाहिए वो हमको चाहिए फैक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन। जैसे कि सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ हमको सीड्स चाहिए। अब सीड्स कहाँ से आएंगे, सीड्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कैसे होंगे, जहाँ पे हमको एक्चुअल फील्ड जहाँ पे हमको सीड्स लगाने हैं वहाँ तक सीड्स कैसे पहुँचेंगे, ये पूरा मैकेनिज्म है। देन वी रिक्वायर वाटर फॉर एग्रीकल्चर, जहाँ पे रेनफॉल होता है दैट इज वेरी गुड क्योंकि वहाँ पे नेचुरली आ रहा है, लेकिन वहाँ पे फ्लड नहीं होना चाहिए, तो वी नीड टू कंट्रोल फॉर फ्लड, राइट। अगर फ्लड नहीं हो रहा मतलब वी नीड एवरीथिंग इन एन ऑप्टिमल, हमारी जो ऑप्टिमल स्टेट है वो क्या है कि हमको अलग अलग चीजें पर्याप्त मात्रा में चाहिए, इट शुड हैव अ बैलेंस। और जहाँ जहाँ पे वो बैलेंस नहीं है वहाँ पे हमारी जो प्रोसेसेस हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं नेचुरली काम नहीं करेंगी, एंड वी रिक्वायर कोई ना कोई टाइप का ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन, राइट। वो जो ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन आएगा दैट विल कम थ्रू द एंगल ऑफ पब्लिक पॉलिसी, दैट इज व्हाट आई वाज ट्राइंग टू explain. Now moving next, is this fine, Shipra ji? Is this fine? ये हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन।
अंकित, what you do is
Yes.
आप जब बोल रहे हो ना कुछ हिंदी कुछ इंग्लिश, you don't have to
ठीक है, I
repeat
will
the
mix.
same. बीच
Okay,
बीच में
okay, I will
हिंदी
just. ठीक है, अब मैं
इकट्ठा
इसको ना।
बाइलिंगुअल हो
ठीक
जाओ
है।
बस.
Okay, okay.
That will take a lot of time.
Yes, yes, yes. So next, moving next to that कि ठीक है, पब्लिक पॉलिसी तो हमको समझ में आए कि व्हाट पब्लिक पॉलिसी इज, एंड आई एम श्योर कि दिस इज अ वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल्स आई हैव गिवन, इट्स मच ब्रॉडर देन दैट, इट इज मच कॉम्प्लेक्स देन दैट, so we can discuss a lot about it, but just to give a brief idea about public policy is, next is why it is an important field and basically ये field कैसे emerge हुई over the time. So पब्लिक पॉलिसी जिस तरीके से हम उसको आजकल देख रहे हैं ना, जहाँ पे मतलब बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेक्शन बढ़ गया है, ये बहुत ही रिसेंट है, इट्स अ वेरी रिसेंट इवोल्यूशन दैट हैज हैपेंड इन दिस फील्ड। लेकिन इफ यू गो लिटिल बिट 15-20 years बैक, इट वाज अ वेरी रिस्ट्रिक्टेड फील्ड। सो द आइडिया ऑफ पब्लिक पॉलिसी प्रोफेशनल्स था कि द पीपल हु आर वेरी सीनियर पीपल हु हैव अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि गवर्नमेंट्स कैसे काम करती हैं, हु हैव ऑलरेडी वर्क विद गवर्नमेंट्स, जिनको पता है कि सारा सिस्टम कैसे काम करता है। Once these people have retired from their active duties, now they have so much to contribute back, right? So let's create this area where there could be some interesting discussions, जहाँ पे all these professionals जिनको इतना experience है, they can come और वो बता सकते हैं जो governments of the day हैं कि what is the right policy action, what is the right course, what is the right solutions to the problem जो आज की government face कर रही है। So that was an idea of the past. लेकिन पिछले 5 से 7 साल में क्या हुआ है कि a lot of younger people are getting included into public policy discussion, और उसका एक बहुत बड़ा रीजन ये है which I see personally is the social media, basically digital media. तो डिजिटल मीडिया के आने से if you see one big difference that has happened is that कि जो हम पहले जो political debates हम सिर्फ न्यूज पे देखते थे, एंड जो मेरी मेमोरी रही है वो ये
अंकित साउंड चला गया आपका. अंकित आपका साउंड चला गया है, कनेक्ट करिए.
I think all the debates have come in our. हेलो,
अंकित आपका साउंड बार बार जा रहा है, और अपना कनेक्शन जरा चेक करिए.
ठीक है, अभी ठीक है मैम?
हाँ हाँ.
Yeah.
तो आइडिया की जो पब्लिक पॉलिसी में यंगस्टर्स जो आए हैं, द यंग पॉपुलेशन जो आई है, उसका वन ऑफ द रीजन जो मेरे को दिखता है वो है सोशल मीडिया। सोशल मीडिया की वजह से व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, अ लॉट ऑफ डिबेट्स आर हैपनिंग इन आवर ड्राइंग रूम्स, राइट। हम रोज उस पर बात करते हैं, लाइक एवरी इशू कैन बिकम अ पॉलिटिकल इशू, राइट, एंड विच इज गुड एंड विच इज एंड एट द सेम टाइम बैड फॉर वेरियस अदर रीजंस। बट द थिंग दैट अगर
अंकित एक
जो
मिनट
हमको
होल्ड
इसमें
करूंगा।
से एक टेक अवे लेना है वो ये है कि
अंकित एक मिनट के लिए आपको रोकूंगा। आप अपने विजुअल को थोड़ा सा घटा सकते हैं क्योंकि विड्थ की प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, इसलिए साउंड बीच बीच में रुक जा रही है।
इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ उनकी क्या बैकग्राउंड, राइट। ओके, should I continue?
नहीं, आप अपना स्क्रीन का
या यू कंटिन्यू।
ओके,
प्रॉब्लम आपकी बैंडविड्थ में आ रही है, वो ऑडियो और वीडियो दोनों सपोर्ट करने में बीच में वो थोड़ा सा क्रैक आ रहा है।
ओके,
तो अगर आप चाहो तो विजुअल को थोड़ा रोक दो और ऑडियो
ठीक
बड़ा
है।
स्मूथ हो जाएगा फिर।
ओके, मैं ये कर देता हूँ। ठीक है, अभी आई एम ऑडिबल?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
ओके, सो द आइडिया जो मैं प्रपोज कर रहा था वो ये था कि जो रिसेंट चेंजेस आए हैं विद डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन स्पेशली, तो यंगस्टर्स के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा स्कोप आ गया है इस फील्ड में। आई गिव यू अ वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल, जैसे जो जहाँ पे मैंने काम किया, सेंटर फॉर पॉलिसी रिसर्च सीपीआर। तो सीपीआर वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1970, अराउंड 1970s। और उस टाइम पे अगर हिस्ट्री ऑफ सीपीआर हम देखें तो आइडिया ऑफ सीपीआर वाज दैट कि दिस इज अ प्लेस, दिस इज अ वर्क प्लेस फॉर द सीनियर ब्यूरोक्रेट्स हु हैव रिटायर्ड, basically because they have so much to contribute with their experience ki they can come, they can work on all these interesting projects and they can help the governments, right? But in recent 10 to 15 years, what happened, they opened up the CPR to the young people like me. अगर वो open नहीं किए होते तो maybe I would have not been part of this public policy discussion today, right? So the question comes, why it is so interesting for me. It is interesting क्योंकि first of all I find it is very challenging. It is challenging that you have to understand बहुत सारे angles of a problem, right? जैसे हम घर पे बैठे किसी भी डिबेट को सुनते होंगे, we just realize कि देखो इसमें ये गलत हो रहा है, ये सही हो रहा है, but are we thinking of all the angles? You know, सारे के सारे जितने सारे स्टेक होल्डर्स इन्वॉल्व हैं किसी प्रोसेस में, क्या हम उन सबके जो एंगल्स हैं, उन सबके जो पर्सपेक्टिव्स हैं, क्या उसके तरीके से हम सोच पा रहे हैं उन चीज़ों को? क्योंकि ये सोचना बहुत ज़रूरी है पब्लिक पॉलिसी में। तो इसलिए ये चैलेंजिंग भी है, एट द सेम टाइम बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग भी है। Second, what we need very important in public policy is an interdisciplinary approach. That is, हर एक फील्ड, जैसे मैंने इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ी, तो जब मैंने इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ी तो इकोनॉमिक्स ने मेरे को बहुत सारे टूल्स एंड टेक्निक्स सिखाए, यू नो, हाउ आई कैन अप्रोच दिस वर्ल्ड, यू नो, क्योंकि हर एक डिसिप्लिन हमको एक तरीका सिखाता है कि इस तरीके से हम वर्ड को समझ सकते हैं, इस तरीके से जो हमारे आसपास जो प्रॉब्लम्स हो रही हैं या इस तरीके से जो हम ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं वर्ड को, हाउ वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट बेटर। तो इकोनॉमिक्स ने मेरे को कुछ टूल्स दिए, बट व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग इन पब्लिक पॉलिसी सेक्टर, आई रियलाइज्ड कि मेरे को इकोनॉमिक्स के अलावा बहुत कुछ सीखने की भी जरूरत है। फॉर एग्जांपल, आई नीडेड टू नो हाउ द पॉलिटिक्स वर्क, तो आई नीडेड टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ लॉ वर्क्स, क्योंकि जब तक मेरे को लॉ नहीं पता होगी, मेरे को पॉलिटिक्स नहीं पता होगी, मेरे को पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन नहीं पता होगा, मेरे को ये नहीं पता होगा कि कम्युनिकेशन कैसे होता है, हाउ गवर्नमेंट्स कम्युनिकेट विद पीपल एंड हाउ पीपल कैन कम्युनिकेट बैक विद द गवर्नमेंट, इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आई नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि जो इंडिया है वो आइसोलेशन में नहीं एग्जिस्ट करता पूरे वर्ल्ड में, वो इंटरेक्ट करता है, यू नो, विद अदर कंट्रीज एंड अदर नेशंस। तो वो इंटरेक्शंस कैसे होते हैं, राइट? What kind of dependencies we have with the other people? So we need to understand all these angles. Then we can come up with something which can be called like a sustainable solution in a public policy. So all this makes very interesting for me. And in this process of last 5 to 6 years, I've learned a lot of things by trials and errors. And that is my idea, that I start this kind of a discussion with young students, जहाँ पे we can talk about these things and I can help them. Those who are interested, you know, to build a career in public policy, those who feel, you know, that this could be something very interesting, then I can help them out, you know, with what I have learned in my life. So that was my idea. And I think with this, I would like to stop for the session one. And I would like to collect thoughts of, you know, other faculty members and the students. Collect कुछ questions, उनसे एक बार कुछ questions होंगे तो I can respond to that. And then second part में I would like to discuss more, you know, how the students from the journalism background can be very important tool in public policy, how they can make the best of their disciplinary understanding and the knowledge. And second, how myself and my organization Mulya, how can we help in achieving. So on that note, I stop for now and hand it over to Dr. Yogi to proceed next.
Professor Dubey, would you like to comment? Professor Dubey would like to comment.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. अभी अंकित can come back on visual. अभी थोड़ा सा sound.
अंकित visual पे आ जाओ. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Ankit. Thank you. You started very well. एक अच्छा था. It has been more of an exploration, and you are able to present a blueprint to those students, those who are not into it, but they can always be looking at it as one of the best possible answer to create a pathway of action. Since public policy is thriving on two major functional inputs, one is bringing people and other one is the bringing ideas. So these students can always be into that mold, to always be ready with either bringing people around or bringing ideas around, and sometimes both these things act in unison. Once you bring people, the ideas do come together, but not necessarily they can work in isolation also. But why do they need to work? ये एक बड़ा अच्छा आपने इनपुट इसमें ब्रिंग किया है, and you linked it with the concepts of the public policy from a very top level to the basic level. People normally ignore those issues which are very mundane, very basic in day-to-day functioning. कि how production is important, how land is important, how seeds are important. So we leave all these things to other people. So now since public policy is gaining ground into the minds of the people, those who are very new to the system, and they can be more expansionist in their ideas. Expansionist in the sense they can be very inclusive to several things on one go. Normally those who have 40 years of experience, they thrive on their experience and to a very limited extent. So इस लिहाज से ये आइडिया आपका ओपनिंग इट टू द स्टूडेंट्स, और हमारी फैकल्टी के लिए भी एक बड़ा अच्छा इशू रहा है कि फैकल्टी में पर्टिकुलरली शिप्रा एंड अदर्स जो इस पे काम कर रहे हैं, उनके लिए भी एक बड़ा अच्छा है कि दे विल बी एबल टू ब्रिंग इट होम टू द पीपल, स्टूडेंट्स, कि भाई इसमें क्या ऑप्शंस हमारे पास बन रहे हैं. नाउ एक जो असली चीज है, एक चीज से थोड़ा सा मुझे डर लगता है. अभी नाउ आई एम कमिंग टू द क्रिटिकल इनपुट. वो क्या है कि क्या हमें इसको पब्लिक पॉलिसी को एक प्रॉपर स्पेस देना. प्रॉपर स्पेस देने का मतलब एक बहुत ओवर पावरिंग स्पेस देना जरूरी है क्या? है एक ओवर पावरिंग स्पेस. ओवर पावरिंग स्पेस से मेरा मतलब सिर्फ इतना है कि नॉर्मली वी लीव एवरीथिंग टू द पब्लिक पॉलिसी, टू द लॉज, टू द रेगुलेशंस. क्या ये जरूरी है कि हम ऐसा करें? क्या ये संभव नहीं है कि वी लीव इट सर्टेन थिंग्स टू द पीपल एंड create a policy mechanism, policy framework on a very कहते हैं ना general nature. कि मतलब why environment is good and important for us. Environment में क्या क्या करना है, इसके लिए let the people collate their ideas at a very local level. Not necessarily कि इसको बड़े यूनिफॉर्म लेवल पर हम बड़े ऊपर से ऊंचाई से इसको प्रपोज कर दें कि भाई इसको ऐसा ऐसा करना होगा. ऐसा तो नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हर कंट्री के डेवलपमेंटल रिक्वायरमेंट्स अलग अलग हैं. Those who have developed, they will definitely be looking at it in a very different perspective. Those who are in the process of development, they will look at it in a very, अब जैसे bringing green revolution as a very forceful idea and bringing it to the homes of every person, those who are doing agriculture, particularly in North India, was a compulsion for us. बिल्कुल 1960s तक का अगर आप हालात देखेंगे तो वी आर थ्राइविंग ऑन बारोड व्हीट. मतलब हम दुनिया से गेहूं मंगाते थे, PL 480 में और बाकी स्कीम्स में गेहूं मंगा करके खाना खिलाते थे. सो कई बार पब्लिक पॉलिसी में इस तरह के कॉम्प्रोमाइजेस भी करने पड़ते हैं. लार्जर पर्सपेक्टिव क्या होना चाहिए, जैसे नेचर मैनेज करती है, जैसे नेचर बैलेंस करती है, उसी तरीके से मुझे लगता है पॉलिसी को भी बैलेंस करने का यंग लोगों को सोचना चाहिए कि हाउ फार कैन वी गो इनटू लेजिस्लेशन, हाउ फार वी कैन गो इनटू पॉलिसी एंड हाउ फार वी कैन गो इनटू प्रैक्टिसेस. तो तीनों आयाम को एडवोकेसी तो हमारी होती रहनी चाहिए. एडवोकेसी क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है? क्योंकि दैट विल हेल्प people, those who matters, to think of it how it can be smooth. स्मूथ करना बहुत जरूरी है. एक्शन के लिए लोगों को तैयार करना, पब्लिक पॉलिसी को ये भी ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा कि हाउ पब्लिक पॉलिसी. तो अगर नेक्स्ट राउंड में अगर आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं तो जैसे कि आप यू आर क्रिएटिंग थ्रू अ स्ट्रक्चर, आपने कहा कुछ यू आर क्रिएटेड ए फाउंडेशन. इस तरह के फाउंडेशंस बहुत सारे हो तो कोई बुराई नहीं है, क्योंकि ये एक एक्शन के एक कोलेशंस है. एक्शन को ये कोलेट करने के लिए है. आइडियाज तो लार्जर स्केल पर वी ऑल नो कि एनवायरनमेंट खतरे में है, पर एनवायरनमेंट को हम अपने एरिया में कैसे सेव करें, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये पॉलिसी, पब्लिक पॉलिसी के सपोर्ट का ये एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट हो जाएगा. अदरवाइज पब्लिक पॉलिसी विल कीप ऑन ग्रोइंग एंड ग्रोइंग, इट विल बी डीलिंग फ्रॉम द एक्चुअल प्रैक्टिसेस, और फिर वही होगा जो नॉर्मली होता आया है. तो कुछ इस तरह के प्रोविजंस पर हम बात करें जो कि प्रैक्टिकली हमारे यंग स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी बड़ा अच्छा हो, क्योंकि आज की डेट में अगर स्टूडेंट्स का एक ग्रुप कोई एक अच्छा प्रैक्टिस ओरिएंटेड चीज पब्लिक पॉलिसी को सपोर्ट करते हुए उठाता है, तो इट कैन बी रेप्लिकेटेड टू अदर, नॉट एज सच रेप्लिकेशन की बात मैं नहीं कर रहा हूँ, इट विल बी ए फंक्शनल मॉडल, इट इज नॉट ए रेप्लिकेशन मॉडल, इट इज ए फंक्शनल मॉडल कि भाई 10 लोग मिलकर के एक पब्लिक पॉलिसी के इस इनपुट को ऑपरेशनलाइज कर सकते हैं, तो दूसरे इनपुट्स को भी ऑपरेशनलाइज कर सकते हैं। इस लिहाज से अगर आप इस इनपुट्स को डालें तो बड़ा अच्छा रहेगा। एंड एक चीज मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा कि यू ट्राई टू ग्रुप थिंग्स, क्लासिफाई करने का जो आपका आइडिया था वो भी एक बड़ा अच्छा था कि कैसे इम्पोर्टेंस किन किन चीज़ों का हमारे लिए कब कब बनता है। वो इम्पोर्टेंस नॉर्मली हम बड़े जनरलाइज तरीके से करते हैं, क्लासिफाई करके नहीं करते। क्लासिफिकेशन आपका मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा है। एंड बुनियादी तरीके से जो आपका प्रेजेंटेशन शुरू हुआ है बड़ा अच्छा हुआ है। आई अंडरस्टैंड कि यू हैव बिगर थिंग्स इन माइंड, ये मुझे डाउट नहीं है कोई, बट मुझे ये लगता है कि जो फर्स्ट कंपोनेंट था वो इम्पोर्टेंट बहुत है, लेकिन उसको ऑपरेशनलाइज कैसे किया जाए, हमारी फैकल्टी के साथ अगर आप मिलेंगे, फैकल्टी को भी थोड़ा सा एक इनपुट दे देंगे तो स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी बड़ा अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि उनके में बेचैनी है। दे वांट्स टू क्रिएट समथिंग व्हिच इज इम्पैक्टफुल, इम्पैक्ट जनरेट होते हुए वो भी देखना चाहते हैं, और अगर ऐसा कुछ हो जाता है तो इट विल बी गुड। इट वाज गुड टू हियर यू। थैंक यू डॉक्टर योगी, यू कैन कंटिन्यू।
Okay. Thank you, sir. Shipra, you want to say something? Shipra?
Yes, ma'am. I would want to say something. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you for your presentation, and it was a good presentation. And you tried to, make us understand what is public policy in a very lucid manner. I have few points which I want to talk about, particularly about public. Because I've been working on public and politics and media. So because public is, you have explained to us what do we understand by public, and we do understand, commonsensical understanding what is public. But if theoretically we have to understand public, of course we have different categories of public, but we have to understand public, and we
And
have
your
to
voice is
differentiate
breaking.
between.
I can't hear
My
much.
voice is breaking. Is it okay now? Is
It's
it any
okay. It's
better?
okay.
Is it better? Okay. Okay. So I was saying that we have to
Yeah.
understand public,
It's,
conceptually
yeah,
and
it's better.
theoretically.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So because there is a difference between public and private, right? What is public is public is a domain of public scrutiny, right? And classical liberal theorists also. And we're talking about, and we have to understand that we're talking about it is in a democracy, public policy in a democracy. And what is public is it is it is open for public scrutiny, right? Public interest is very important, right? What is public interest, right? Common good, public good. So public is about that.
शिप्रा शिप्रा शिप्रा
हाँ,
शिप्रा एक मिनट होल्ड करिए, आप भी
हाँ.
अपना विजुअल रोक करके खाली ऑडियो चलाओ तो आवाज थोड़ी अच्छी आएगी।
ओके सर, ठीक है। ओके, is it any better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. So I was just saying that what is public and what is
It is.
private, because okay, I'll just start it again. So I was saying that it is important to understand the difference between public and private, right? Because public is again about public interest, common good, and we have to understand that we're talking about democracy. And then the classical liberal theorists also, like Rousseau and J.S. Mill, and we have been talking about, especially in media, public sphere. So public sphere and public is very important. So you rightly said that public has different categories, gender ke base pe, community ke base pe, caste ke base pe, religion ke base pe. But what differentiate public from private is that it can be scrutinized by public, right? So public interest बहुत important है इसमें, which is very different. And public is also political. Private is not political, right? Private is non-political. It can be apolitical, but public can never be apolitical or non-political, right? It is accessible to everyone, right? Private is not. So that is very important differentiation that we have to understand. Also policy. A policy you have explained, and I was just looking for, what do we understand by public policy? And then I found a simple definition of public policy, and it is by Thomas Dye. He's a political scientist, and he says that public policy can be best understood by anything a government chooses to do or not to do. So it is traditionally understood as a domain of a government. Of late, as you rightly said, that by the presence of organizations like CPR and CSS, there are so many organizations. I'll talk about that also. So now it has also become a domain of civil society, which is a very important development. I think that started in the 80s and 90s. But traditionally, if India also we understand, so we understand public policy की अगर बात करेंगे तो आपको bureaucracy की याद आएगी या government की, you know, कि this is the domain by which bureaucrats IAS या जो बनाते हैं policies, right? अभी दो एग्जांपल्स मुझे देने हैं जो कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में. आपने भी एग्जांपल्स दी which were very relevant. But in terms of media, because I have worked more on media, and of course media and politics, media and public is, you know, interrelated, and it's very important. ADR, Association of Democratic Reforms in India, you know, they have done a wonderful work vis-a-vis political reforms in India, right? So that is very important development. Again, वो भी IIM के जो retired professors थे उनके through develop हुआ, and you know कि 2003 में जो उन्होंने PIL डाली थी, 2002 में rather हाई कोर्ट में, उसके बाद ही इलेक्शन कमीशन ने कॉग्निजेंस लेते हुए उसको रूल बनाया कि अभी हर किसी को जो भी कॉन्टेस्ट कर रहा है इलेक्शंस, दे हैव टू फाइल एन एफिडेविट जहाँ पे वो अपना एजुकेशनल, क्रिमिनल और जो भी बैकग्राउंड है वो देंगे. So that is a very important development vis-a-vis public policy in India. Also RTI, you know, RTI is another very important development, which because RTI was again initiative by MKSS, Mazdoor Kisan Shakti Sangathan, and also this Anna Hazare's NGO. So public policy उस डोमेन में भी बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं जो बहुत सारे organizations हैं apart from CPR also. And for our students, I would again want to just give because अभी ये एक proper discipline बन गया है. Right? Of course, DSG में which we are teaching communication and media, so we are not particularly dealing with public policy. But those of our students who want to go with that, because I know IIMs and IITs have been teaching, but this Indian School of Public Policy is good, which is based in Delhi. Then we have Indian Institute of Public Administration, which was founded by Pandit Nehru in the 50s, right? Even Jindal School of Public Policy, I think they are also doing very good. Apart from that, I want to mention a few organizations which are doing very good job. As you mentioned, Center for Policy Research is doing a wonderful job, and I'm happy to know that you have been a part of that, because I have some friends who are working for CPR. And Center for Social Research, again based in Delhi, is doing very good job. Center for Civil Society, yeah. Center for Internet and Society. So there are so many of these organizations which are doing. So now we have to understand public policy. We don't need to अभी हमको focus नहीं करना सिर्फ government पे, because generally हम traditionally सोचते हैं कि government जो policy बनाएगी वही public policy है, right? Civil societies and NGO, because civil society बहुत integral और important component है any democracy का, right? Apart from state and the markets. So I just want to, I think, conclude with that. Again, just two more legislations. I think you mentioned about reforms, land reforms. So you talked about agriculture, land and all that. But I think what is most important vis-a-vis land reforms in India, land policy in India, is about who owns the land, right? Because that is a major crisis, and which is again evident from the migrant crisis in India of late. I think we will talk about migrant crisis or another policy maybe after you present, after the second round of your presentation, because I want to touch upon that also, because that's very important of late. So I think I will conclude with that. Thank you for your presentation. You can maybe continue with the, or maybe I don't know, ma'am will tell us if you want to have questions from the students, or you can.
I want to say a bit. Thank you, Shipra. Yes, Ankit, your presentation was good till now. I am also more interested in the second part, where you will be talking of the journalism connected with public policy. But 2-3 things I want to say. पहला जो आपने ये कहा कि पहले senior people who had lot of experience were brought into this sector. I have not done much or studied much in the public policy and research area, but my understanding and my observation to what you said is that senior लोग लाते थे और अब younger आ रहे हैं, and you are an example of that. So it is good because today जो senior लोग या हम लोग जैसे senior लोग 40 साल के experience में जो जाने या सीखे, आज का youngster वो बहुत जल्दी उसको, because of the exposure and because of their understanding, because of their being more techno savvy than we are, because of their being on the social media 24/7, they know perhaps in certain areas more than us. So they'll be more helpful, plus they'll be able to put in much more good things into public policy making. Secondly, जैसे सर ने कहा कि पब्लिक पॉलिसी शुड बी लेफ्ट टू पीपल, तो ये तो अब हो ही रहा है कि पब्लिक पॉलिसी बनने के बाद इट हैज टू बी लेफ्ट टू बेसिक पीपल. Fortunately or unfortunately, today morning only, at around 10 o'clock, I was hearing a lady. So she was saying कि अब ये government has decided, has made a policy, is going to soon declare a policy कि ये COVID-19 के लिए quarantine है, quarantine centers है, ये सब हम खत्म कर रहे हैं. This is I've heard. I don't know whether it is true or false. Some lady was saying whose husband is a doctor. So she said my husband has been told कि 2 दिन से ज्यादा लोगों को हॉस्पिटल में नहीं रखना. Let people decide for their own how to protect themselves against corona. And all that public policies, quarantine, ये वो सब हम खत्म कर देंगे because it is not working very well as we know the quarantine centers are going. So you have to leave it with the people. Secondly, I would like to say is that even the public policies which the government makes, if I speak from the philosophical point of view, they should be utilitarian. Utilitarian means they should be able to give maximum happiness to the maximum number. Right? They should be able to give maximum happiness to the maximum number. That is, the maximum public should be benefited from it, should be, for them it should be useful. That is what, John Stuart Mill said, that whatever we do in life or whatever policies, rules, regulations are made, they should be for the benefit of the maximum. And that is what the governments try to do. But at many places they fail also because the policies do not do maximum happiness or maximum benefit to maximum people. So that should be the focus. And the second part of your presentation, which will talk of journalism, leadership, and also I would like you to focus on the careers students can choose in this line, concrete careers where they can apply, where they can go, even if after doing graduation, because our first batch is graduating. So if you're able to tell them specific areas where they can immediately apply with their 3-year degree if they want to go into jobs, so kindly focus on that after the second presentation. In the second presentation, there are 1 or 2 people who want to ask questions for your first presentation. Should we allow it now, Ankit? Should we allow it? Yeah? Huh?
Yeah, we can allow it. We can allow it.
Okay. Sumanji first, then Neeraj.
Yes, ma'am.
Neeraj, पहले Sumanji पूछे. Sumanji, please be focused and ask a question. Let's not get into an argument. And then Jyoti Bharti. I have these 3 names: Sumanji, Neeraj, Jyoti Bharti.
थैंक यू मैम. और अच्छा है कि ये लर्निंग टीचिंग प्रोसेस लगातार चल रहा है. मेरा प्रश्न अंकित सर से है और जैसा कि दुबे सर कह रहे थे कि पॉलिसी मेकिंग में जो भारत में एक समस्या निकल के आ रही है, हम देख रहे हैं कि 1952 से प्लानिंग कमीशन काम कर रहा है या उस तरह से योजनाएं बन रही, फिर नीति आयोग आया है. लेकिन जो हमारा फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर है उसमें समस्या ये है कि राज्यों की अपनी अलग तरह की डिमांड्स हैं पॉलिसी को लेकर. सेंटर अलग तरह की पॉलिसी बनाते हैं. कई राज्य अक्सर जिनकी सरकार केंद्र और राज्य में अलग अलग होती है, तो राज्य अक्सर मांग करती है कि क्यों ना हमें ये छूट मिलनी चाहिए कि हम पॉलिसी खुद बना पाए. होता क्या है कि केंद्र सरकार मैक्सिमम पॉलिसी बना देती है और फिर पैसे, क्योंकि राज्य और केंद्र सरकार दोनों का रेशियो रहता है 90-10 का या 75-25 का, जो भी रेशियो है, तो इस वजह से राज्यों का अधिकांश पैसा जो है केंद्र की योजनाओं में खर्च हो जाता है. तो क्यों नहीं, क्योंकि महात्मा गांधी भी कहते थे जब तक हम डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन नहीं करेंगे और पॉलिसी मेकिंग के लेवल पर भी डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन नहीं होगा, जैसा कि दुबे सर भी कह रहे थे. तो भारत में आखिर ये चूक कहाँ हो रही, जबकि हमने पंचायती राज का स्वप्न 1950 संविधान बनाने से देख रखा है, लेकिन फिर भी हम नहीं ले पाए. एक प्रश्न ये है सर. और दूसरा प्रश्न ये है कि हम ये देख रहे हैं कि पॉलिसी बन तो रही है लेकिन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लेवल पर करप्शन बहुत ज्यादा है. जैसा कि मनरेगा में हुआ कि करप्शन को खत्म करने के लिए या करप्शन को जांचने के लिए सोशल ऑडिट जैसी चीजें लेके आई गई, लेकिन वो आज उस तरह से सभी पॉलिसी के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन पे वो एक्टिवेट नहीं है. तो करप्शन के लिए क्या पॉलिसी मेकिंग करते समय हम करप्शन जैसी चीज जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में सबसे बड़ा बाधक है भारत जैसे देश में, तो क्या उस पर चर्चा होती है तो किस रूप में होती है और उसका निदान कैसे होता है? तो ये सर 2 छोटे छोटे. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Suman. Ankit, you would like to answer him or take all the 3 questions together?
I think I will take all the questions together and then I will
Okay.
begin my session.
Yeah, नीरज बेटा आप पूछिए।
बहुत शुक्रिया अंकल। सर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि हम लोग जर्नलिज्म पढ़ते हैं, जर्नलिज्म को समझ रहे हैं, तो पॉलिसी बनाते समय जर्नलिज्म के स्टूडेंट का क्या इसमें मतलब भागीदारी रहती है? और सर और दूसरा प्रश्न ये है कि विचारधारा, एक जो विचारधारा आज वर्तमान में देखा जाए बहुत बड़ी लड़ाई बन गई है। अगर किसी भी विचारधारा की सरकार होती है तो पॉलिसी भी उसी हिसाब से बनती है। तो सर इससे मतलब एज ए जर्नलिज्म स्टूडेंट हम लोग इससे कैसे बचें और मतलब क्या करना चाहिए? सर थैंक यू।
Jyoti Bharti, you can ask your question, and after Jyoti, Mukul Sharma, and then we will start with the second session of Ankit. 2 more questions, Jyoti Bharti, Mukul Sharma.
थैंक यू मैम एंड थैंक यू सर, आपने बहुत अच्छी प्रेजेंटेशन दी। इनफैक्ट पब्लिक पॉलिसी को बहुत अच्छे से डिफाइन किया एंड आफ्टर शिप्रा मैम ने भी उस पर जिस तरीके से चीजों को बाद में लिया वो बहुत अच्छा, काफी ठीक था। मेरा कोई मैम सवाल उस तरीके से नहीं है, आई एम जस्ट सजेस्टिंग कि कुछ पॉलिसी फॉर्मुलेशन और पॉलिसी मैकेनिज्म को लेके बात नहीं हो पाई इस प्रेजेंटेशन के दौरान। हम लोग पब्लिक पॉलिसी की डेफिनेशंस में ही उलझे रहे। जैसे कि जो मेरा ट्रेनिंग है एक्चुअली वो लॉ में है, तो मैंने जब अपने एमफिल के टाइम पे लीगल एड पे स्पेसिफिकली काम किया तो मैंने ये पाया उसको एज अ पॉलिसी, लीगल एड एज अ पॉलिसी, कि वो सही से इम्प्लीमेंटेशन नहीं हो पाती है। तो कहाँ लूप होल्स रह जाते हैं, वो कहाँ मैकेनिज्म फॉर्मुलेशन क्यों पूरी तरीके से सिटीजन तक वो चीजें क्यों नहीं पहुंचती। तो गवर्नमेंट जब कोई पॉलिसी फॉर्मुलेट करती है, कोई मैकेनिज्म स्टैब्लिश करती है, तो वो एक सक्सेसफुल मोड में लोगों तक क्यों नहीं पहुंचता। एक क्वेश्चन तो ये है। दूसरा मैं ये भी कहना चाहती हूँ कि अगर इस मैकेनिज्म पे स्पेसिफिकली जो सर आए हैं यहाँ पे सेंटर फॉर द पॉलिसी रिसर्च से, अगर वो इस पे थोड़ा सा बताने की कोशिश करें कि एक्चुअल में लूप होल्स कहाँ रह जाते हैं फॉर्मुलेशन के टाइम पे और उस पॉलिसी को लोगों तक पहुंचाने के लिए। तो मैम आई एम जस्ट सजेस्टिंग एंड माय क्वेश्चन इज थैंक यू।
Okay, thank you. Mukul, you ask your question, and Ankit, after Mukul, you can start your session.
Okay, so good morning, sir. It was a nice session. So my question is that public policy centers, what impression we get, prima facie impression mostly from the newspapers and media, that they end up masquerading as some sort of corporate or industrial lobbying centers, and in that process the public interest gets sidelined, right? So what is the mechanism and what is the formulation of these public policy centers that public interest remains the primary constituent, and the corporate or industrial interests, which might not be in line with the public interest, they do not get the primary attention like that? What's the mechanism in these centers like that? Thank you.
Mukul, Ankit, you please proceed with the session.
So yeah, thank you, Professor Dubey, Professor Shilpa, and all the students for raising all these important questions. It makes my job very easier because I don't have to say anything. I just have to look at the questions and answer to them. So thank you so much for making my task easier. So I will go on addressing the issues, first of all, like the questions that were raised systematically, first by Professor Dubey. So, and I'm sorry in case I did not understand your question properly. So please feel free to let me know. But what I understood is like you're trying to ask like why can't we have a local solutions to the problem that we see rather than on relying on this overarching framework of the public policy, right? Let me give you just a couple of examples to just tell you that both your approach and the policy and the approach that is the overarching approach both will work. So मेरी जो समझ है उसके हिसाब से we need to understand कि जो प्रॉब्लम हमारे हाथ में है जिसको हम सॉल्व करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं थ्रू द पब्लिक पॉलिसी एंगल्स, वो क्या प्रॉब्लम है। फॉर एग्जांपल लेट्स टॉक अबाउट एनवायरनमेंट। अब एनवायरनमेंट में बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं। जो एनवायरनमेंट का जो इशू शुरू होता है दैट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम वी हैव सो मेनी कैंपेन्स, लेट्स क्लीन गंगा, लेट्स क्लीन यमुना, राइट? देन वी हैव इश्यूज ऑफ द एयर, पुअर एयर क्वालिटी। देन वी ऑल्सो हैव इश्यूज कहीं पे क्या हो रहा है कि वाटर की जो क्वालिटी है बहुत खराब है बिकॉज ऑफ द आर्सेनिक्स एंड अदर पॉल्यूटेंट जो उसमें मिल जाते हैं। एक तरीके से देखा जाए तो सारी प्रॉब्लम्स पब्लिक पॉलिसी की हैं, यस। ऑल द प्रॉब्लम्स आर रिलेटेड जहाँ पे पब्लिक इज गेटिंग अफेक्टेड, यस। बट अगर हम इसको स्ट्रक्चरली समझने की कोशिश करें तो ये सारी प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत अलग अलग हैं। ओके, लेट्स ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि जब एक वाटर प्रॉब्लम आती है, वाटर बॉडी खराब है कहीं पे बिकॉज ऑफ पोल्यूटेंट्स, तो ये ना बहुत ही लोकल प्रॉब्लम है, लाइक इट्स अ वेरी लोकल प्रॉब्लम which can actually be taken care by the local actors. For example, if we reach out to our, agar is that water body is in a rural area, we can definitely reach out to our panchayats and some institutions over there. And if it is in the urban area, we can definitely reach out to our municipal governments, right? क्योंकि इस वाली जो प्रॉब्लम है, इसका जो इंटरकनेक्शन है वो ज्योग्राफिकली बहुत लिमिटेड है, राइट? सो इट कैन बी टेकन केयर ऑफ locally by our local actors and local institutions. Now let's talk about a little bit of a larger problem. That is, let's suppose we are talking about cleaning Ganga. Now Ganga, when we talk about cleaning Ganga, it's not a local problem. It is little bit larger than that. Because wherever the Ganga is going through and it is interconnected. Because if we see the problem with the Ganga, I'm giving you a very simple example. There are 4 or 5 points जहाँ पर जो pollution level होता है गंगा का बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है. And one of them is कानपुर. थ्रू कानपुर गंगा गोज थ्रू, और वहाँ पे जितना जो ये हमारी जो इनफॉर्मल इंडस्ट्रीज काम कर रही हैं, द लेदर इंडस्ट्रीज, उसका जितना पोल्यूटेंट है वो सारा का सारा गंगा में जाता है, और उसकी वजह से क्या हो रहा है कि वहाँ का जो पोल्यूशन लेवल बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है. बट कैन कानपुर ऑन इट्स ओन सॉल्व दिस प्रॉब्लम? आई डोंट थिंक सो. क्योंकि इफ यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड कि द लेदर इंडस्ट्री का जो पूरा डायनामिक्स काम कर रहा है, दैट इज नॉट अ लोकल फैक्टर, दैट्स अ फैक्टर विच इज लार्जर एंड बियॉन्ड दैट. क्योंकि वो जो लेदर इंडस्ट्री है वो बहुत से लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी दे रही है. डेफिनेटली अ लॉट ऑफ लेदर एक्सपोर्ट्स हो रहे हैं वहाँ से, और ऐसे बहुत सारी इंटरकनेक्टेड चीज़ें हैं जो कि लोकल डोमेन से बाहर जाती हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी रिक्वायर सम काइंड ऑफ अ इंटर स्टेट कोऑर्डिनेशन बिटवीन दैट. और ऐसे बहुत सारे डिस्प्यूट्स हैं, स्पेशली विद रिस्पेक्ट टू वाटर. जैसे इतने सारे वाटर डिस्प्यूट बोर्ड्स बने हुए हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू वुड हैव हर्ड कि कावेरी वाटर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट चल रहा है. देयर इज अ डिस्प्यूट जहाँ पे भी वी हैव टू डू डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ वाटर, अमंग डिफरेंट, बिकॉज़ एवरीवन हैज देयर ओन डिमांड. Everyone wants that they should get the maximum share out of it. So we will require some kind of a coordination which is going to be beyond local, maybe at the state level. But now let's talk about the issue of air pollution. Right? Now, air pollution is an issue which is not only a problem in India; it's a global problem. It's a problem which is affecting a lot of developing countries across the world. Right? And we try to understand the issue in India itself, as I told earlier also. कि जो प्रॉब्लम हम दिल्ली में फेस कर रहे हैं, दैट इज समथिंग, उसका ओरिजिनेशन जो है वो दिल्ली से नहीं हो रहा है. अ लॉट ऑफ इट, डेफिनेटली देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ ओरिजिनेशन बिकॉज वी हैव लोकल फैक्टर्स, जिसका हमारे लोकल पोल्यूशन फैक्टर्स हो गए. लेकिन जो एक बड़ा चंक है विच हैज बीन अंडरस्टूड अभी तक, जो साइंटिफिक स्टडीज आई हैं, दैट इज समवेयर इट इज ओरिजिनेटिंग फ्रॉम पंजाब एंड हरियाणा बिकॉज ऑफ द पैडी स्टबल्स की जो बर्निंग होती है. Now, how do we solve this problem locally, right? We need to have some kind of coordination among different states. So, in nutshell, when we are talking about policy, before jumping into solutions, I think it is very important for all of us to understand what is the problem that we are trying to solve. क्योंकि जब तक हमको एक प्रॉब्लम की पूरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होगी, आई डोंट थिंक हम कोई भी ऐसा सोल्यूशन बना पाएंगे जो कि इफेक्टिव होएगा, राइट? क्योंकि इट विल नॉट वर्क ऑन द ग्राउंड. क्योंकि क्या होता है कि बहुत सारे टाइम पे हम एक जल्दी से कोई सोल्यूशन बनना चाहते हैं क्योंकि देयर इज अ प्रेसिंग नीड, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ पॉलिटिकल उसके अगेंस्ट एक्टिविज्म शुरू हो गया है, तो वी वांट टू गेट इनटू सम सोल्यूशन मोड. लेकिन विल इट सस्टेन और नॉट? अगर हम कोई भी सोल्यूशन हमारे अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस में देखें विच हैव वर्क, बट दोज एक्सपीरियंसेस व्हिच वर एबल टू सेटिस्फाई a lot of stakeholders which were involved in this process. Agar we are not satisfying all the stakeholders, then that solution will not work. It may be imposed from top, but it will not work on itself. So I think we need a mix of both depending on what the problem is. Next, I think there were some questions which were raised by Professor Shilwa, that is about the idea of what is the domain of public. तो जो मैंने बेसिक जो प्रेजेंटेशन दी थी उसमें माय आइडिया वाज टू कनेक्ट इट टू पब्लिक इन द फॉर्म ऑफ एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, एज अ स्पीशीज, राइट? बिकॉज वो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बॉडी है. बिकॉज इन द एंड व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू, we are trying to create situations, we are trying to create environment which is conducive for our generation and for the generations which are going to come. So my idea of public was related to that, but I completely agree that we need to understand the differentiation of the public and private in a different understanding as well. लेकिन जो domain of public policy, जो as you were saying कि it was limited to government, that was true to an extent, but it may not be true in today's time. Why speaking so? Let me give you a very simple example. Like in today's time, if you see all the
I agree with you, Ankit. I agree with you. That is what I stressed upon. That traditionally we understand it as a domain of government, But
Exactly.
especially since 80s and 90s, I think it has become more of a domain of the CSOs also. Yeah.
Right. So specifically, this is happening in India also. And if you see any major corporate, let's talk about some big corporates. For example, let's say Facebook, let's say WhatsApp. I'm giving some examples specific to the industry of the media. All these corporations in today's time have a public policy team, because they are actively, they're actively discussing it with the government. So you would know the idea of lobbying. The lobbying is something which has a very negative connotation, right? We always see lobbying means, private interests are being taken care, where
Especially in India, because in the West
especially
it
in
is
India.
not
Yes,
negative
yes,
as
exactly.
yeah, as it is in
That was the
India.
point I was going to make. Because in West, if we see, lobbying is a very legal and a formal process. The idea of lobbying is that every stakeholder who is part of the process should be able to make a representation that what are they looking forward to. But in India, because the social and economic structure that we have in our country, and as you know, the amount of people who are dependent on government are very high as compared to people who are self-reliant. And this I'm speaking mainly from the the economic class point of view. Definitely we have a lot of people who are dependent. The number of people who are living below poverty are high. Not just that, the people who are just on the margin of poverty are very high. So governments have a very strong mandate where they need to take care of the public at large. But that dynamic is not same across all the countries in the world, and it is shifting in India as well. For example, in recent time, what happened, the WhatsApp or the Facebook, they have become such a big power because they are also helping governments in various ways. Wherever the private sector is coming in, where the government is failing, it becomes an important role for them to play, and it becomes very difficult for the governments to dismantle them, irrespective when they are creating some problem. So what governments are trying to do, they are trying to fix some problem. For example, the idea or the issue of the fake news. Till 2014-13, when India was trying with the social media, but with the campaign that the last government had in 2013-14, the social media was, very much there. We were able to see how social media can be leveraged, right? And we saw it across the world. Then what happened? We saw the issue of fake news coming in. And in recent time, we have seen so many measures which the governments have taken to control fake news. For example, in recent ones, the number of forwards are limited. Number of people you can add on the groups. There's so many angles in which governments are trying to control all of this. So the idea that public policy is limited to government is getting diluted across the world. In India, it is beginning to dilute, and I see that is going to be the pattern. So public policy is going to be very much about government, very much about corporates, very much about civil society, and very much about individuals, because we all have the power in our hand of social media in today's time. We all are active voice, right? So the dynamics are changing very quick and very fast, and we need to understand that. And rightly you pointed out, the RTIs and land reform. Land is a sector I've worked for last 5 years at CPR. My core area was working on land. So definitely a lot of progressive things have come across, but definitely a lot has to be done. I will address the issues of implementation in the subsequent question with Jyoti raised with some examples over there. Another question that was on the role of senior versus junior, and as Dr. Yogi rightly mentioned, when I say that juniors are being welcomed, in no way I'm saying that we don't require seniors, right? We require seniors a lot because they have that level of understanding, that level of exposure in the government decision making that juniors or the young people will take some time. Because there are some lessons, some learning, some trainings we can do, which could be you can learn, by textbook, by doing so many things. But then there is a component of learning which is very implicit, that comes by experience, and which is very difficult to document, right? So all those learnings are possessed very heavily by the seniors, and we need them very strongly. I give you one example. In CPR, we used to, without naming the person, we used to have a very senior IAS bureaucrat, and this gentleman was 92 years old. And trust me, till last year when he passed, he was part of almost all the sessions that we used to do at CPR. And trust me, when we young people were, making presentations with a fancy data, fancy statistics, and all those things, this gentleman will come and make a point which no one can answer to, because those points were deeply rooted in his experience. That why what we are saying will never work, and it in no way of criticism, but in some way that we should also think about it. So So the role of seniors and role of juniors are equally important. We need to have this healthy balance, and I'm happy to see that we are moving in the direction that we are opening up. We are opening up the sector where young people, dynamic energy, innovations are being allowed in this sector. Then the another issue was raised of that the principles of public policy should be based on the utilitarian grounds, and I completely agree with that. But what happens in my personal experience is that no one will refute this thing that definitely we need to provide maximum happiness to maximum people. No doubt, there should not be any doubt about it. But the issue comes when we are faced with the real challenges. Now these challenges, if I want to summarize in my experience, are going to be of two nature. First challenge is going to be that the different stakeholders, when they're part of the process, they may not be aligned to achieve that common goal, and it happens a lot, because the personal जो goals हैं, जो personal incentives हैं, जो different stakeholders हैं, वो क्या होते हैं, बहुत सारे समय में क्या होता है, वो अलग अलग डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं. जब वो अलग अलग डायरेक्शन में जा रहे होते हैं तो you don't have a complete unanimity of what you want to do. और जब complete unanimity नहीं होती, then you reach into some kind of a political negotiation, and political negotiations are solutions, but they are not the best solutions that we want. So we always fall short of this. और जो second जो बड़ा constraint which I see is that for any kind of a public utility or any kind of a public good that we want to provide to people, given that in India, the number of people who are dependent on the government support is very high, what we require is the fiscal support. That is, we need the financial resources to do. And as I rightly said, and you all will agree that India is doing good. We have been progressing, but still we are a very poor country as compared to the West and as compared to some other countries. And definitely a lot has to do with our structure, our institutions, especially the model of capitalism and this model of development that we are following. All those are very much in place. But in a nutshell, the issue is that we are a poor country. We have limited resources, but the number of people who are dependent on government is high. So in the end, we are always struggling with this thing: how to provide resources, assuming that everyone wants to play fair. Everyone wants to provide maximum help that they can do. Assuming in that situation, still we are far short than what we actually need. So we need to understand this constraint very important. The number of people we have in our country is high, and we can see with the recent COVID thing that there are so many people we need to help. In the end, we require a mechanism so that we can tackle to all those people, and it's really challenging. It's really challenging to do all. But I am sure that we are moving in the right direction again, and that's why we require the help of the young people more and more, so that they can be part of the process to help government solve all these problems. Now,
please talk about the careers, how
yes.
the journalism, because they are interested in that.
Yes, I'm just moving to that.
Yeah.
Dr. Yogi, मैं एक मिनट का intervention है मेरा. I will have to leave the meeting for another meeting which is scheduled at 12:30 basically. मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि मैं आपसे माफी मांगूं. Wishing you all the best. Continue with the momentum you have generated. Thank you, Ankit. फिर कभी हम मिलेंगे, and I believe कि faculty will be in regular touch with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Ankit, continue.
Yeah. So I will just take one more question that Jyoti asked, and then I will move into the careers part and link the other things to over there. Is that
okay?
How do we see the implementation issue? Wherever we talk about policy, we always see there is a backlog that we are not able to provide how much is required. I think it is very important for us to understand. The change is always going to be incremental. That is, we are going to have change. It will not be drastic. That if you want to solve the air pollution, it will not happen that next year we will have a pure air quality. We will always see कि धीरे-धीरे ना वो चीजें improvement की तरफ बढ़ रही हैं. Or because we can always see disaster without increment. We can always see absolute disaster anytime. Because there are infinite ways of doing something wrong, but there are only limited number of ways of doing something right. And to find that limited number of ways, we always struggle. We have so many constraints that we are trying to solve. So we need to set our expectations in that way. That the change, the positive change is always going to come incremental, and we have to continuously work towards it. So there were some other questions, but let's move to the career aspects of it. What is it that where the students of journalism can fit in best? And this I'm trying to put based on my understanding, but let's have a discussion around it. And I would like to hear from the faculty also. So as some of the areas like which Professor Shilpa already put out, they were the name of the specific organizations. Without getting into names as of now, I want to give a broad structure. You know, what are the different domains in which the people from the journalism background can actually come in. So I see definitely, you know, if you are interested and if you have some kind of inclination towards doing research, अगर आपको लगता है कि research is something that you आपको interest है कि आप ना you want to find some things, for example fake news is something that you want to understand कि fake news क्या है, वो कैसे work करती है, across countries कैसे काम कर रही है. So I think a career as a researcher is very important and it's very interesting also based on my thing. But depends completely. उसके लिए आपको दो चीजें चाहिए. First of all, you need to be extremely patient क्योंकि it will take you some time to reach at the conclusions or to bring out जो आप चाहते हो उसमें, right? It will take you a lot of time. So being an academic researcher from journalism background will work. And I'm sure I was seeing that there are a lot of courses which are opening in India, definitely masters to hai, but we also have some PhD programs outside India. And they are looking for people, you know, who wants to do PhD in journalism and so many sub areas within that. So career as an academic researcher is definitely a go on that you can think about. And definitely in all of these points, we can talk more as well. Right? If you're not interested in academia, you know, you don't want to be an academic, you don't think that you want to teach or you want to be an academic researcher, you can always engage as a policy consultant, as a policy analyst, where what you do it is slightly different. Without getting into so much into, you know, nuances, you want to work on an issue which is, you know, which is out there. For example, as a policy analyst, there may be a project जहाँ पे you will be asked कि okay, let's try to understand कि, you know, what would be a policy response to the migration issue जो अभी चल रहा है जिस COVID के साथ, right? We all are seeing कि migration is a big issue, and this is some kind of a work जहाँ पे ना you need to be very quick in your analysis. You need to you need to reach out to various different stakeholders. You need to start speaking to, you know, bureaucrats. You need to start speaking to lawyers. You need to start speaking to civil society. ऐसे आपको बहुत सारे stakeholders के साथ फटाफट बात करनी होती है, and you need to come up with a concrete action plan. Okay, what can be done? What can be done to solve this problem immediately? So the difference between academic researcher and policy analyst or consultant ये होगा कि policy consultant थोड़ा सा short term होता है और quicker होता है as compared to an academic researcher जो एक long view लेता है किसी problem की, right? तो वो ये हो सकता है कि वो immediately problem को solve नहीं कर रहा हो, लेकिन वो उस type की सारी problems को एक साथ solve कर सकता है. तो एक ये बहुत बड़ा difference है. Then you can always take a route of entrepreneurship in policy. The sector is opening up in such an interesting way that there is a lot of, like, for example, I can call myself to be a policy entrepreneur. I used to be an academic researcher. I did a lot of research, and through that academic research, I also helped some projects as a policy consultant. But now, what I'm doing policy entrepreneurship. By entrepreneurship, I mean anything, any new initiative that you want to start. इसमें बड़े सारे angles and that you can try, that you can explore. For example, what I'm trying to do is, like, you know, reach out to students and tell them what public policy is all about, so that I can raise their interest. And if they're interested, we can work together in that. Same way, I can give you some more example. जिसमें बहुत सारी social policy entrepreneurship में क्या हो रहा है कि there are so many young organizations which are coming, which are helping administration. जैसे कि कि जैसे state district level का जो administration होता है, उसमें बहुत सारा severe issues होता है कि वहाँ पे लोगों के पास मैन पावर नहीं होती. फॉर एग्जाम्पल डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर हैज टू डू सो मेनी थिंग्स इन हिज डे टू डे लाइफ. उसके पास इतना समय नहीं होगा उस व्यक्ति के पास कि वो ना एक बैठ के सोचे कि मेरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में ये प्रॉब्लम चल रही है, मैं इसको कैसे सॉल्व करूँ, मेरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में आंगनवाड़ी अच्छे से काम नहीं कर रहे, मेरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हेल्थ वर्कर्स अच्छे से काम नहीं कर रहे, मेरे डिस्ट्रिक्ट में वाटर की प्रॉब्लम है. तो इनको ऐसे बहुत सारे ऐसे यंग लोग चाहिए होते हैं who are interested to solve this problem at that micro level. जैसे जो प्रोफेसर दुबे ने बोला कि हाउ कैन वी सॉल्व प्रॉब्लम एट द लोकल लेवल. तो उसके लिए भी रिक्वायर अ लॉट ऑफ मैन पावर सपोर्ट एंड टेक्निकल सपोर्ट, जहाँ पे सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप और द पॉलिसी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज वर्किंग, वेयर यू टेक अप सम प्रोजेक्ट्स, गेट इनटू सम memorandums of understanding with these people and start working with them. उसके अलावा if I talk about, you can always look for some social fellowships. बहुत सारी fellowships चल रही है which are working in the social sector. Now this fellowships का फायदा ये होता है कि I think they are generally for 6 months to 1 year. They also give you some stipend. So ताकि you are able to cover your basic expenses, right? For example, अगर मैं नाम, there is Gandhi fellowship है, and the University of Chicago has its own fellowships. Then SBI has its own fellowship. So all these fellowships are working with some mandate. They work on some particular sector. तो जो सेक्टर आपको इंटरेस्ट लगेगी, you know, within like okay fine, I have learned journalism, it has equipped me with some tools and techniques. Now what I'm interested is कि I want to work on education sector, or let's say I want to work on health sector. So जो different जो fellowships होती हैं, they work for different sectors, so you can explore and we can help you in that, right? Then that could be another way. Then if those are interested, they can actually work with political leadership. For example, now almost each and every elected representative has their own media cell, which is managing their social profiles. So again, it is very challenging and very interesting to work in that framework. उसमें आपको ये समझ में आएगा कि what is the life of a politician. It's very important. हमको हमेशा एक लाइफ के लिए बायस होता है. We always have a bias कि politician की लाइफ ऐसी होती है शायद, कि bureaucrat की लाइफ ऐसी होती है. But when we observe these people, on day-to-day basis, how they actually work, how they go from one meeting to another meeting, ये negotiate कैसे करते हैं, what are they actually thinking, what are they talking, but what are they putting out? They all are very different. लेकिन उसके पीछे की reasoning क्या है? If you are really interested to understand politics in that way, then I think working with political leaderships could be a very interesting event. Then on a similar line but slightly different is working for political parties. Now it is very different. For example, if I say it is going to be a different experience when you work in a media team of, let's say, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, as compared to when you want to work for the media team of Congress as a party. Or same when you want to work, let's say, for the media team of, let's say, any senior BJP leader, as compared to when you want to work for the media team of the BJP as a party. Because party is different from the leader. Now that we need to understand. And if you're, अगर आपको बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट ये समझने में है कि पॉलिटिकल पार्टी कैसे काम करती है, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का एक बहुत अलग डायनामिक होता है काम करने का, then I think working with political parties is going to be very interesting again. It's a very challenging job. You have to be on your toes all the time, but I'm sure you will learn a lot. Then in the same way, आप bureaucracy के साथ काम कर सकते हो. Like every ministry has so many departments. Not only the central ministries, but the state level, state governments maybe. So every bureaucracy, every ministry has a department. They are all managing their media cells. So you can be part of that. अब इसमें there are different angles to it. You can have digital media. You can work on broadcast. You can work on various other things because all of them are engaged. Then another angle, if you want to understand, policy from grassroots, you can work with civil society. I'm audible, right?
Yes, you are audible.
Then you can work with civil society. Civil societies are doing amazing job, but they do it from different angles. They are not working for the government. They're not working, but they work for the people on ground. So there are so many movements that happen. For example, I have seen some of the movements related to land sector बहुत closely, और उनके जो dynamics होते हैं बहुत अलग होते हैं. And this is a very important place to work for because जब civil societies काम कर रही होती हैं, they generally lack these kind of technical know-how that how to leverage social media. What is the importance of branding? What is the importance of reaching out to people? And even if they understand how to do it, it's very difficult for them to figure it out, all of that. So I think ये बहुत important sector है which you should think about. Civil society के साथ काम करना. There are various established civil society हो गई, मतलब बहुत बड़ी organizations काम करती हैं which are working on things. But then there are very smaller civil societies जो इतने famous नहीं हैं, but they are doing some amazing job in solving this problem of they are working with the social sector. Then in today's time, you can work with research institutes. There's a lot of examples were given by Professor Shilpa, and I myself work with some of them. CPR हो गया, NIPP है, Brookings, Carnegie, ADR. They are last I was reading, I think in Delhi they are around 200 or 250 think tanks. So there are so many think tanks who are working in this space. So you can explore working with them.
Then, in India, there are more than 3 lakh registered NGOs also.
Yes, in India. This is just how I'm just talking about Delhi. Yeah. If you have some, geographical location preference, so Delhi में around 200 to 250 different think tanks are there. And civil society NGOs are numerously they are doing their work, and they all require people from journalism background. Then a lot of universities are opening up. For example, you have Ashoka University, we have O.P. Jindal, and these are the established ones. But there are so many private universities and as well as public universities are coming up. So they all require, and they are doing some of the other work in the policy space, so you can work with them also. Then another intervention which has come, that the private sector has opened up jobs on the policy part. So as I was telling you, like WhatsApp, Facebook, all of these organizations have openings for policy roles.
Hello.
So you can explore that. Then advocacy is a different area where you are working with organizations who work on advocacy, right? Where you're directly working on launching campaigns, you're working directly in putting your demands out. Then if you're not interested in working anywhere and you want to go for higher education, then you can go for higher education in India and abroad. There are so many opportunities which are opening again, and so these were the areas that I think that you can work on. And as you can realize, there are so many opportunities out there that you can contribute to. But Professor Chilo, you want to add on to something, like if I missed anything, because this is what I was able to put together.
Yes, you're talking about the opportunities. I think LAMP is also very important,
LAMP is a fellowship. Yeah.
This legislative assistant to member of parliament. It's also important. Niti Aayog, of course, they are hiring a lot of people. I think very regularly they are hiring. They have Atal Center for something. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but they have various wings. Yeah, UNDP, WHO. I mean, there are so many. Even in India, it's not that you have to go abroad to use jabs. Even in India, UNDP is hiring a lot of people. That I'm aware of. Media advocacy, I think you started with media advocacy. So media advocacy, yes. So because our students are studying media and they're also studying development communication, you see. So for them also, media consultants are needed everywhere. You rightly talked about.
But are they eligible immediately after BA, or they need to go for masters?
No, they are eligible after BA also. I mean, for the junior post, they are also eligible for the after BA also. So yes, a lot of media consultants are needed. Yeah.
मैं शिप्रा से पूछ रहा था ये कि और सुबीर सर से भी कि स्टूडेंट को हम ये बताएं कि कैसे वो इन सब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जा सकते हैं. What should be the way, तो वो अच्छा रहेगा उनके अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए.
No, वो तो they have to apply and then go through the whole process of selection.
Yes, that's right. But how
if
they
Ankit
can
is done, if sir Rajat sir, if Ankit is done with his presentation, then we can start with that.
Yeah, just 2 points I want to make.
Just finish your
just 2 points. So I did not mention about media because I think that was something which was very natural choice. You have studied media, so you can go into that. So I wanted to highlight all other. That this is not all. You can think about a lot of other options. It is out there. So in my understanding, like what I've seen is, like if you're looking for an academic research, the first point I do, so they look for people who have a master's degree generally. But for others, I don't think master's is required. With bachelor's degree also, I think you are eligible to apply. But again, sometimes it depends from fellowship to fellowship, definitely. But in terms of eligibility, you are open to applying for other places also, apart from academic research, where maybe I think master's is required, but not everywhere. Again, we will have to check, where exactly. So the last point which I wanted to make, I have given you a nutshell of the various places where people from your institute can work. So I just wanted to tell, I want to finish my presentation on that. Where does Mulya come in? So I founded this initiative because I just thought that there is a genuine gap, in understanding of first what public policy is, which I did in the first part. I just want people to know what public policy is, and second, we also want to help people, those who are interested, that how they can actually build their career in that thing. So in terms of helping, what we are figuring out as we are working on some other tools, like what are the exact internship modules, what are the exact fellowships, what are the job applications, where are the openings, as we are working on them. So what we have started in the meantime, and what I'm realizing is that there are so many soft skills and technical skills that a person requires if they are looking to build a career in public policy. And I will start with some of the soft skills, the very basic stuff, like, do we know how to properly draft a cover letter? Because that is the first thing that you will require whenever you want to apply for a job, right? Like, do we know, can we create a very interesting and a very, to the point resume? Because again, that is going to be very important. For example, whenever you will be hired, you will be asked, like, submit a writing sample. Like, are we good at writing? Can we do some technical writing? Like, can our students, do policy writing? what are the principles of policy writing. The students जिनको interest है कि they want to go for higher education, do they know how to write scholarly papers? I'm sure some of these skills are already inculcated to them through the program. But if there is something which is missing, that is where Mulia Foundation wants to help you. So we are starting with the short courses, basically very small basic sessions where we want to where we want to teach the students on all the basic principles which are related to public policy. So we have divided those courses into two spectrum. First is the soft skills, as I highlighted. How do you draft your cover letter? How do you draft your resume? How do you write? Do you know public speaking? And very important component in public policy, do you know how to network? That is very important. This is something I've realized from the Western universities. Then in Western universities, there is a dedicated course on a program that what are the principles of networking. That is, networking has become so important in today's time that you need to know people, around you who are working in different areas so that they can always push for your cause. So networking is very important and something which I realized that as an Indian student, we don't study networking how we should be studying it. So we have introduced networking as a soft skill.
So your courses are paid or
they are highly subsidized. We are still figuring out the pricing plan of it. But our idea is that the student who is not able to pay for some reasons should be able to access the courses, and those who are able to pay, there is a very basic minimal fees which we call as an excess fees. That is what we are charging. So we are working on them. I think by the start of next month, that is from 1st or 2nd of June, we should be going live with some of the programs, and I can share a detailed brochure with you, like what is it that we are thinking.
Okay, thank you.
But none of the courses are in such a way where students, I know that how the students are in India, so they will not feel that they are paying for it. It is as less. So, but I will share a detailed thing. Apart from that, we are also doing some technical courses. As I was telling you, public policy is very interdisciplinary. People a lot of time ask you, like, do you understand that? Are you able to read this article? So whenever you will read an article on public policy, you will realize, it will always cater to stuff which is beyond their core area. For example, the student of journalism will have a strong hold in understanding issues related to journalism. But if I ask, would they know some basic understanding of economics? Will they have some basic understanding of political science? Will they have a basic understanding of how law is made in a country? How disputes are resolved? By basic, I mean the functional knowledge, something that we are just aware of it. I'm sure that we don't need to know the technical specifications beyond a point, but I think we need to know very basics of it. So we are designing courses which are called the basics of economics, like a course of 1.5 hours. So it will be like 1.5 hour session where we will introduce the person of what all economics is all about, what all political science is all about, so that they are not caught, when they are doing, okay, I know something about it. What are the basic concepts in international relations? Because all of them are going to be handy, and all of them are going to really raise the competitiveness of the students when they are looking for all these jobs. Because in the end, the jobs are very limited in this space, and the number of people who are coming are going up and up. And that's why we are trying to open up the space. As I told you, I listed, I think, around 12 to 13 different avenues in which students can apply. So our goal is to introduce people to public policy and then help them in whichever way we can, so that they are able to create their career in public policy. So that is what Mulia Foundation is all about. And I will stop at that point so that Professor Shilpa and Dr. Yogi can give me some feedback, and as well as if there are some more questions that I can take. I'm more than happy to do that.
Thank you so much, Ankit, for a very enlightening and fruitful presentation. Now I request the students first, if you want to ask questions. Students who are there, please ask questions. Then we can move to the faculty if they want. Any student? अभी तो mostly teachers ही रह गए हैं, students.
No, ma'am, I think they are not asking questions.
Mukul, do you want to ask? Mukul, Ranjan, Satyam, Shashi Kumar, Shubham, Tanmay, No, if you want to ask more, you can ask. Very few students are left, though. Okay, then no student, no question, Shashi.
Sir,
Okay. And who
ma'am,
wants to ask?
ma'am, Satyam, ma'am, ma'am,
Shashi
Satyam,
asks, yeah. Shashi ma'am,
Satyam
Shashi.
पूछो.
sir,
Shashi ma'am.
Shashi नहीं
ma'am,
सत्यम है वो.
नहीं मैम शशि बोल रहे हैं. नो अच्छा ओके सॉरी सॉरी
Shashi
हाँ
ने लिखा
बोलिए.
no question.
ओके ओके
Shashi
सत्यम
ने लिखा
आस्क
no.
सॉरी.
सत्यम है.
या
ma'am. Sometime before earlier, sir was asked about the corruption issue. So how government is there a proper solution to tackle with that? Why the government is not making certain policy that will going to help or do that will going to help reduce the corruption?
Okay. Should I respond to that?
Yes, yes, sir.
So corruption is very much an integral part. You know, whenever we are dealing in a system, is an integral part in a system. You know, when we have less number of resources and
Yes,
we require a more number of people needed, right? So what is going to happen? Like there are some people who are going to push and pull to access those resources. Okay, so I think corruption is very much part and parcel of at least the Indian state, right? As we have seen it, and ranges from petty corruption, where we hand out some bribes to get our work done quicker as compared to others. For example, like we just don't want to stand in a line, whether we would pay
yes,
100 rupees to get something done, right? That is also part of the corruption. But if you go deeper and think, why are we paying that? I am paying that just to save my time, because the line is so long. I know if I stand in this line to get this document done right now, and by saying this, I am not trying to justify corruption in any way. I am just trying to discuss that what is the origin of corruption, right? That I'm ready to pay that 100 rupees or 200 rupees of the bribe just because I want to save my time. And why I'm saving my time? Because I feel if I take a leave from my active job, my money will get deducted over there. So actually I'm acting like a rational human being. Let's save some money, let's save more time and energy and doing. So this is a more or less the larger reason
No,
for the
no,
corruption.
but
That
Ankit,
where we
that is
need to improve the service
that
the service delivery, right?
but that is immoral, na? It is
Sorry.
immoral. So that is immoral, na, Ankit? There's a big line, and you pay
Yes, it is
200,
immoral.
and the
Yes.
first person or third person
Yes.
in the line will again be pushed back. So you are doing an immoral act. इससे better तो ये
Exactly.
है कि policy ये बने, people who can pay more have a separate line. वहाँ जाए
Yes.
खड़े हो 1000 रुपया दे और अपना काम कराएं. And let
Yes.
there be a line where is no corruption. और उसमें एक सामान्य आदमी को अपनी बारी पे सामान या जो भी वो टिकट ले रहा है मिल जाए. So this is ये मेरा इसलिए बोल रही हूँ because I faced this so many times and I have had a fight with people. I went for my house lease, so some documents. I was standing in the line and somebody came, a tout, and he went कि पहले मेरा कर दे because he
yes
gave
ma'am
money to
all
it.
of us have
And
experienced this.
I had a fight with him. How dare? Because you are a tout and you are getting money. So this, enrages. Not I can pay more also if I want, but I don't. So because you have to be. If ये आप जो कह रहे हो ना, corruption is inbuilt. तो यही तो हमारे देश की समस्या है. It is so much inbuilt. ये देश कभी भी ठीक नहीं हो सकता अगर हम ठीक नहीं होंगे तो.
No,
So
I
we should
completely
not
agree. I
talk
completely
about.
agree with you. It is
I'm
absolutely
saying
immoral.
that why do you
Yeah,
want to save time?
it is absolutely
That's
immoral.
right.
The point I was trying to raise is that was a problem. It was happening. So that's why you see in so many services we have this premium payments. Where some are say that pay extra and you get it done quicker, right?
Yeah,
We have
that is
Tatkal
better.
systems. They came in place, but still they were not able to solve the problem because again that issue kept up. Again, what is
Yeah,
happening? The paying capacity of the people is going up. Everyone
yeah.
wants to get their work done. So what I'm trying to say, a broader point, and absolutely agree that it's a very immoral act. It should not be part of the system. It is creating the problems. Thing is that we are creating interventions and they are falling short. So we need to create capacity where state or the government is able to deliver sufficient public services to n number of people. That is the ideal state. and we are chasing it continuously, right? So interventions are
Yes,
happening.
and there have been
Interventions
many movements also. I mean,
yes.
very famous India Against Corruption movement, after which Aam Aadmi Party came to power, and then we
The
have
entire
seen
idea
that
of
nothing
party,
much happened after that. And also, I just want to briefly add something, that I was reading a paper yesterday, and I found that, I mean, I don't agree with that again, but then somebody was Rob Jenkins, and then there was a survey, and then he said that in the 50s and 60s, not now, because now people say कि गवर्नमेंट अधिकारियों की सैलरी बेहतर हो गई है पहले से. तो जो एक रीजन ये भी था कि जो सैलरी थी लोगों की गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉइज की वो बहुत कम था, you know. So that was also one reason. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but there was this survey which suggests that because people are getting, you know, very less salary, especially government officials, so they are, you know, promoting this, so they are trying to get some more money through corruption or through bribery. So that was one. I don't know whether it's right or wrong. Again, it's
Okay,
up to
let's have another question. Let's
Yes,
have
yes.
another
Hello.
question.
Yes.
So this is a very vast area. Corruption is a vast
Yes,
area.
yes,
we
ma'am.
can,
Of course.
we can go on for a day on this
I know.
topic. It is-
So anybody else question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, sir. This is शुभम राजवंशी.
हाँ.
सर
पूछो
सर
शुभम.
आपने फर्स्ट पार्ट में ये बोला कि जब हम
Shubham,
कोई
I can't
पॉलिसी,
listen to your because voice is cracking.
सर आपने फर्स्ट पार्ट में ये सर आप सुन पा रहे हैं?
हाँ, now
सर आपने फर्स्ट पार्ट में ये कहा कि जब हम कोई पॉलिसी बनाते हैं तो एक कल्चर और रिलीजन को ध्यान में रख के. सर एक ओंगी जनजाति है, ट्राइबल्स है वहाँ अंडमान में. सर अगर वो यहाँ पे होती महाराष्ट्र में सपोज, और कोई पॉलिसी बनाते हम महाराष्ट्र के लिए, तो क्या पॉसिबल है कि कोई जनरल पॉलिसी बनाते, कोई एक जनरल इंक्लूसिव पॉलिसी बना पाना संभव है इस कंडीशन में अगर वो ट्राइबल्स महाराष्ट्र में होती है तो?
शुभम, इट्स अ बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है क्योंकि मैंने इस इशू पे काम किया हुआ है, द इशू ऑफ शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स, जो हमारी ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन है. अगर आपको नहीं पता था, आई जस्ट वांट टू टेल यू कि जो शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स के लिए ना एक स्पेशल प्रोविजन है हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, एंड वो प्रोविजन है शेड्यूल्ड एरियाज का. तो हमारे पूरे कंट्री में ऐसे जिसमें अंडमान नहीं आता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बट आई एम गिविंग यू अ जनरल पिक्चर कि शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स के लिए एक अलग ही प्रोविजन है विच इज़ अ शेड्यूल्ड एरियाज प्रोविजन. और इस प्रोविजन के अंदर बहुत सारे ऐसे डिफरेंट रूल्स और डिफरेंट मैकेनिज्म्स हैं जो कि जो ट्राइबल वे ऑफ लाइफ है, जो उनकी कल्चरल और सोशल कल्चरल जो वैल्यूज हैं उसको प्रमोट या प्रोटेक्ट करता हुआ, ताकि जो ट्राइबल की जो आइडेंटिटी है उसको हम खराब नहीं करें, उसके साथ हम इंटरवीन नहीं करें. तो ऐसा प्रोटेक्शन तो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर भी है. लेकिन व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट पॉलिसी, ऐसी बहुत सारी पॉलिसीज आई थी, जैसे कि मैं आपको बताऊं 1996 में पेसा का कानून आया था. दैट वाज लाइक पेसा का कानून इसलिए आया था कि जो हम पंचायती राज इंस्टीट्यूशन है, जो थर्ड टियर ऑफ गवर्नमेंट हम कहते हैं कि हमारे जो विलेजेस हैं वो कैसे गवर्न होते हैं, उसको हम शेड्यूल्ड एरियाज में कैसे लेके जाएं. दैट इज हम शेड्यूल्ड एरियाज जहाँ पे ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन रहती है, हम उनके डेवलपमेंट की जब बात करते हैं तो हम उनके जो हित हैं, उनके जो अधिकार हैं, उनकी जो आइडेंटिटी है, जो उनके जो सोशल इकोनॉमिक तरीके हैं, उनको ध्यान रखते हुए हम उनका विकास कैसे कर सकते हैं. तो इसके लिए बहुत सारे प्रोविजंस हैं. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर क्वेश्चन. अगर आपको और कुछ पूछना, यू कैन ऑलवेज राइट टू मी एंड आई विल शेयर माय डिटेल्ड रिपोर्ट ऑन इट. इट्स अ वेरी लॉन्ग रिपोर्ट वी हैव वर्कड ऑन दिस.
अंकित, आप अपना फोन, अपना ईमेल दे दीजिएगा सबको अभी. या तो मैं दे दूंगी, so that people want to ask or do further questioning and understanding things, they can get in touch with you.
सर अंकित सर,
Yes.
ये दिस इज जस्ट फॉर इंफॉर्मेशन. मैंने भी थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ा था उस ओंगी ट्राइबल्स के बारे में. मोदी गवर्नमेंट बहुत अच्छा कर रही है उसके उन लोगों के लिए. अब तो वो लोग स्कूल भी जा रहे हैं और हिंदी भी बोल रहे हैं वो.
अब इसमें थोड़ा सा इशू है यहाँ पे मैं अगर इसको अच्छा कहना, मैं कोई पॉलिटिकल साइड नहीं लेना चाहता हूँ अभी, क्योंकि ये प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है किसी भी टाइप से. लेकिन इस चीज़ को सोचना और ज़रूरी है कि क्या अच्छा और क्या बुरा है. एक जो ट्राइब है जिसने अब इस लाइक की, जैसे हम जो लोग हैं, अगर हमारे ऊपर कोई नई लैंग्वेज को इम्पोज किया जाए तो वो अच्छा है या बुरा है मेरे को नहीं पता. मतलब इसको दैट इज द एंटायर, वो जो इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट ऑफ पब्लिक पॉलिसी यही है कि हमको बहुत सारे एंगल से सोचना पड़ेगा ये वाली चीज.
नहीं, वो तो शुभम,
द आइडिया ऑफ डेवलपमेंट दैट वी वांट टू प्रमोट, एंड इट मे साउंड वेरी बेसिक टू अ लॉट ऑफ अस कि डेवलपमेंट तो यही है, लेकिन उसमें बहुत डिफरेंट है. तो वी कैन टॉक मोर अबाउट इट डेफिनेटली. लेकिन अगर टाइम हो तो मैं 2 मिनट, एक इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन जो मेरे ख्याल से नीरज ने पूछा था मेरे से, नहीं ज्योति जी ने पूछा था, मैं उसका पूछना चाहूंगा कि पॉलिसी फॉर्मुलेशन या पॉलिसी मेकिंग एक्चुअली कैसे काम करती है। तो उसका मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देना चाहता हूँ अपनी पर्सनल जो मेरी ट्रेजेक्टरी रही है एज अ रिसर्चर। तो 2014-15 में जब मैंने सेंटर फॉर पॉलिसी रिसर्च में काम करना शुरू किया, तो उस टाइम पे लैंड एक्विजिशन का बहुत बड़ा इशू चल रहा था, जिसमें गवर्नमेंट प्राइवेट लैंड्स को ले लेती थी इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट के लिए, और इसका बहुत ज़्यादा पॉलिटिकल डिबेट हुआ, इसके ऊपर बहुत इशू हुआ। गवर्नमेंट एक नई लॉ भी लेके आई थी, तो इस लॉ के अगेंस्ट बहुत सारे इश्यूज थे कि ये लॉ ना क्या करेगी कि बहुत सारी जो एग्रीकल्चर लैंड है, जो फार्मर्स की लैंड है, वो प्राइवेट कंपनीज को चली जाएगी और हम एग्रीकल्चर नहीं कर पाएंगे, और जो लैंड जा रही है उसके बहुत सारे इश्यूज थे। तो इस इशू पे हमने ना बहुत डेडिकेटेडली 2 से 2.5 साल काम किया एज अ रिसर्चर।
साउंड आपका साउंड अंकित, साउंड
बेसिकली जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री
साउंड अंकित।
अच्छा, अभी ठीक है?
हाँ हाँ।
तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी बनाई थी। तो जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी क्या करती है, वो कोई भी जो एक्ट आता है पार्लियामेंट में, मैं बहुत ही सिंपल टर्म्स में बता रहा हूँ ताकि सब कुछ समझ सके, उसको रिव्यू करती है बेसिकली कि उसमें क्या क्या प्रोविजंस जो अच्छे हैं या बुरे हैं। तो हमने जो हमारी रिपोर्ट थी वो हमने जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी के सामने जाके प्रेजेंट की थी कि ये देखिए हमारी रिसर्च से हमको ये कुछ सीखने को मिला इस इशू में। तो इस इशू के हिसाब से जो आपने जो नई लॉ बनाई है, इसमें ये प्रोविजंस अच्छे हैं, ये प्रोविजंस खराब हैं। और जब हम कहते हैं अच्छे हैं या बुरे हैं, हमने उनको एम्पेरिकल ना बिल्कुल हार्डकोर वो जो कैसे कहते हैं डेटा, हमने डेटा बना के उनको दिया था कि इस बेसिस पे हम कह रहे हैं। तो इस तरीके से रिसर्चर्स कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं पॉलिसी मेकिंग में, और गवर्नमेंट ने हमारी बहुत सारी पॉइंट्स माने भी थे कि हाँ ये जो तुम्हारा पॉइंट है, क्योंकि एक साइंटिफिक पॉइंट है जिसको हमने कभी नहीं समझा था, तो वो आप लेके आए हमारे सामने, तो उसके हिसाब से अब हम ये चेंजेस करते हैं। तो इस तरीके से रिसर्चर्स मतलब अपने इंटरवेंशन से पॉलिसी में इफेक्ट ला सकते हैं। So this was an example of how we did it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, anybody else? Otherwise, we can wind up.
Yes, I want one comment from Ankit ji. That is regarding what you think about the condition of policy evaluation in the context of India.
क्या हो गया आशीष तुम्हें?
ठीक है, आई थिंक पॉलिसी इवैल्यूएशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि जब भी हम कोई पॉलिसी क्रिएट करते हैं, पहली बात तो उसका कोई ना कोई इम्पैक्ट तो होगा। इट विल नॉट बी इन आइसोलेशन, राइट? तो उसका इम्पैक्ट को मेजर करना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने पहले बोला था ना कि देयर आर इनफाइनाइट वेज ऑफ डूइंग समथिंग रॉन्ग, लेकिन बहुत लिमिटेड नंबर ऑफ वेज हैं जिसमें यू कैन डू इट राइट, यू नो। एंड लेट मी टेल यू बाय माय एग्जांपल, even senior people, even senior researchers, even senior policy makers, they do not know कि वो क्या सही तरीके हैं। So after a point, after a lot of trial जिसमें उनके experience आता है, research आती है, सब कुछ आता है, there is a element of uncertainty। हमको नहीं पता होता कि इस पॉलिसी का इंटरवेंशन का रिजल्ट क्या है। तो इसलिए इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू कॉन्टिन्यूसली इवेल्युएट दैट कि पॉलिसी का रिस्पॉन्स कैसे आया। अब इसके लिए मैं एग्जांपल दूं, जो इस साल का जो नोबेल प्राइज मिला है वो इंडियन ओरिजिन प्रोफेसर अभिजीत बनर्जी हैं, जो MIT के इकोनॉमिक्स प्रोफेसर, उनको मिला है। अगर आप उनकी रिसर्च देखें तो उनकी पूरी रिसर्च इसी के ऊपर है कि हाउ कैन वी ट्राई पॉलिसी छोटे छोटे एरियाज में, उसके इम्पैक्ट को हम स्टडी करें बिफोर इम्प्लीमेंटिंग ऑन सच अ बिग स्केल। क्योंकि जो एलिमेंट ऑफ अनसर्टेनिटी होती है ना, वो एक लेवल के बाद कोई भी नहीं कह सकता कि आई एम कम्प्लीटली श्योर कि ऐसे ही हो। तो टेस्टिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। जैसे हम मेडिकल टेस्टिंग करते हैं, ऐसे पॉलिसी टेस्टिंग की भी बहुत जरूरत है, हो भी रही है और होनी चाहिए। दैट इज माय पर्सनल।
That's what I'm asking, that what is the condition of India in terms of policy evaluation thing. Yeah, definitely Abhijit Banerjee got Nobel Prize for that is random control trials methods and all other things.
Yeah.
So means like at times it is being said about India that regarding policy evaluation, actually we lack in that, and thereafter policy evaluation we need to inculcate some of the recommendation which is required after going through the whole process of policy thing. In that implementation thing, we need to improve and we need to make policy as per that requirements. So that is the thing mainly I want to ask, means like what you think that regarding policy evaluation condition of India right now. Yeah,
I completely agree what you are saying कि अभी बहुत कम है, इसको बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ाने की ज़रूरत है, and that is one of the reason why I am here। and वो कैसे बढ़ सकती है? when people like you, who are educated people, who wants to do something great and who are really dedicated to, I will not say to India, but to generally the development in this world. You want world to be a better place. We require people like you, you know, who can come on board and we will teach you all of that. Then you can take it up. So that is the core idea. Thank you for concluding it मेरे लिए। मेरे को उसमें एफर्ट नहीं करना पड़ेगा. So it was a good question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think with this we can conclude. Thank you so much, Ankit, for a wonderful presentation. It was very involving, and even I learned so much because this has never been my area. And I think everybody has benefited, our students and our faculty, because Shipra has been in this field, but I think not others, most of us. So thank you so much. And आप सबको बहुत ईद की बहुत मुबारक. अरे
यस मैम, ईद मुबारक.
अरे लॉकडाउन खुलेगा तो सेवइयां लेके आना. अरे
सर आप अपना कोई कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल दे दो.
I want to thank Dr. Yogi to organize all of this. I just reached out to her and she was gracious enough to put it all together, invite you all. मेरे को कुछ भी नहीं करना पड़ा. Ma'am has done everything all. So I want to say a big thank you to ma'am.
She has been doing everything here in DSJ, so we all need to thank her for everything she does.
And I hope I'm part of your community now.
Lockdown is over, then we can physically call you sometime.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Give your contact.
I will share my contact detail and one basic form. If you are those who are interested can register on that so that we can be in constant touch. You know, where I will be sharing more information जैसे आएगी. We are thinking of doing a lot of things. तो जैसे जैसे वो चीजें materialize होंगी हम आपको inform करते रहेंगे. And जो interested and they can be part of it. Or otherwise we can just meet and talk. You can always give me a call and we can discuss various things on that. So very important questions that were raised. Thank you so much everyone. I'll
Contact details फिर मैं दे दूंगी.
हाँ.
Your email. Or you can speak out your email, Ankit. Ankit, you can spell out your.
Or you may just type.
हाँ. Is he still here?
Yes, he is here, but it is not audible. Actually,
अच्छा, network का problem है.
Yes, yes.
Ankit.
And Ashish, you are looking great.
Thank you.
Yes, Ashish, you're looking fantastic.
Yes.
Spell out your
ID.
email. Email ID.
Yeah, right here only in text messages. Yeah, there.
या लिख दो या बोल दो. Ankit is not able to hear us. अच्छा ये
मैम आप शेयर कर दीजिएगा.
ये दिया है.
हाँ.
Pragya is my student.
Okay,
and
okay.
This is how I got in touch with Ankit.
अच्छा, अच्छा.
Atia Ankit.
26. 26.
Atia Ankit 26 at Gmail.
हाँ.
श्रवण जी वेलकम. 1 बजे आने के लिए धन्यवाद.
Ma'am, he shared his email ID on the text message. अच्छा, so
वो उसने किया, प्रज्ञा ने किया. प्रज्ञा ने किया.
But it was a very interesting session. I got to learn a lot. Like I think from a very different perspective.
Yeah.
So that was
Okay, thank you, Ankit. I don't know whether you are able to hear us or not.
I think he's left. No, he's there. He's here. He's here. Okay.
Harris सबको ईद मुबारक.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Eid Mubarak, sir.
I will just share the details with you over email and you can forward it.
Yes, sure. Thank
We
you.
got your email. प्रज्ञा ने दे दिया. Hello.
Thank you, Ankit.
मैम मैं 11 बजे से ही हूँ यहाँ सेशन में.
And Sumit, I am Shipra. So just in case I call you, please remember I am
देखा
Shipra.
जॉइन करने का तुम अभी आए हो.
नहीं वो अभी मैं बाहर हो गया था, गलती से फिर वापस आया था.
अच्छा अच्छा.
आप एक बार चेक करें फोटोज में सेशन में.
अरे मुझे नहीं करना चेक, मैं तो मजाक कर रही हूँ. थोड़ा मजाक सहने की शक्ति रखो.
नहीं मैडम ये कई बार बहुत सीरियस नोट हो जाता है.
अरे मैंने तुम्हें अभी देखा तो मैंने कहा ज्वाइन किया तुमने.
नहीं मैं 11 बजे से हूँ मैम, 11:15 बजे.
मैम आपके लोग मजाक को समझ नहीं पाते हैं और सफाई देने लगते हैं.
चलिए जी, मैं क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ.
नहीं मैम वो कई बार ऐसा होता है ना कि जब तक कोई सामने नहीं आता तब तक क्लियर नहीं होता कि वो मजाक चल रहा है कि सीरियस है.
आशीष तुम्हें क्या हो गया?
क्या हुआ? आशीष
बताइए आशीष.
गर्मी लग रही थी.
आशीष सर ईद के चांद बहुत बड़े हो गए थे, तो इसलिए उसे हटाना था। अब कैसे कर सकते हैं? तो सबसे इजी तरीका यही लगा।
आशीष सर, लॉकडाउन में आपने कैसे कर लिया?
मशीन कर दिया भाई, मशीन से। फिलिप्स की आती है, फिलिप्स की बड़ी अच्छी मशीन आती है। सुपरवाइजर ना, मेरा गेट पे जो सुपरवाइजर है, वन डे ही रैंक मी अप नीचे से, कहता मैडम मेरे को ना दुकान पे तो मिल नहीं रही, ये फिलिप्स की ये मंगा दीजिए, ये जो होता है मशीन आपके पास कौन से। तो फिर मैंने उसकी मंगा के दी। Then I gave him, I gifted him, so he's very happy. अगले दिन देखा पूरा बाल हटा दिया।
मैम अभी आप में दिख रही है, मूड में दिख रही है। पहले तो मुझे लगा सीरियस है आप।
मैम शायद अब रिकॉर्डिंग को ऑफ कर देना चाहिए।
ओह यस
आज आशीष तुम नहीं थे तो फिर सडनली आई लाइव, अरे रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन करनी है।